Dirty Santa, what a horrible man. What a horrible man. What a horrible man. Dirty Santa with his dirty old beard. Mr. Prosecutor always acting so weird. Telling lies corrupt as he can be. Dirty Santa, take a good look, you'll see. King of the plea deal for 30 plus years. Never ran a trial, must be out of fear. He ain't smart enough to tie his own shoes. Dirty Santa saying things we don't wanna hear. The shame is real, plea deal bill. Got the I can't win blues. Gotta fake it to make it, cause he's so bad, can't lose. Dirty Santa, dragging that beard. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa, dirty Santa. Damn, this dude weird. Hey, shut him down. Retry all the cases, shut him down. Shove it in his face. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa. What a horrible man. He can't do it, find someone who can. Lie to county prosecutor, so sad. Every case he touched, got a cheap little plea, but he act real tough when the cameras be. Talk big, folk fast, that's his game. Same old grin, same old shame. You hear that jingle? It ain't joy, it's a dirty old grift in a cheap disguise, boy. Shame is real when the truth come through. Everybody in the room know exactly who. All that talk, all that front, can't run a trial, but he sure can't stunt. Dirty Santa, dragging that beard. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa, dirty Santa. Damn, this dude weird. Yeah. Shut him down. Retry all the cases. Shut him down. Shove it in his face. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa. What a horrible man. Please deal, that's your crown. Watch it crack when the facts come down. You hide behind that old red suit, but the whole damn town see through. Dirty Santa, dragging that beard. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa, dirty Santa. Damn, this dude weird. Hey, shut him down. Retry all the cases. Shut him down. Shove it in his face. Dirty Santa, dirty Santa. What a horrible man. What a horrible man. Yeah. To the guilters, please take a seat. Propaganda spreaders rolling down the street, spreading the lies, dropping the shit at our feet, throwing that nonsense, spitting the lies, talking through their teeth. Don't know shit. Only what they think, pushing that narrative, thinking they won't sink, going on day after day. They only wanna see it one way. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you. Too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. Propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down. Sit down. Yeah, sit down. Evie the puts in Jeffy the Great, throwing out bullshit, boy. I can't wait. Who signs your paycheck? Is it Idaho State? Propaganda pushers, stop now, it's too late. We see you, we see what you doing. Eyes wide open, ain't no confusion. Every little rumor, every fake conclusion. You built on a lie, now watch that illusion. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you. Too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. The propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down. So, same old story, just cheap and cold. You talk in circles, we break the mold. Say it to my face, don't fall. Take a seat, go ahead, I'll wait. We see you, too late. Take a seat, you're done, sit down. Propaganda pushers, yeah, sit down.
All right, everybody. Welcome back to the cafe. The doors are open for business. I hope you're all having a great day, staying out of this crazy, crazy heat. It is hot today, folks, and I mean hot. Welcome back in. Get off your feet, take a seat, grab your cup, fill it up, throw some ice in there because it's hot, like I said. Come on in. We got some new docs to look at here in the Idaho 4. I about gave everybody a heart attack thinking it was an appeal. It is not, but I'll explain what it is as we break it down, discuss it, and more. So come on in, hit that like button, kick it, knee it, use your elbow if you want. Whatever you want to do, headbutt it. I don't care. But hit that like button, please. Share this out. Let everybody know what's going on. And let's do this thing. Here we go. Here we go.
Neon lights flicker like broken halos. Whispers gather in the smoke-filled air. Tables carved with secrets and shadows. Every story's a wound laid bare. The kettle's boiling with a restless rage. Justice written on an unseen page. I sip the silence, bitter taste, waiting for the ghosts to show their face. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. Mirrors cracked, reflections are liars. Ashes fall where the guilty once stood. The jukebox hums like a funeral choir. Echoes pounding through the neighborhood. Every scar is a candlelit vow. We hug the how, we demand the now. No more silence, no more disguise. We'll paint the night with sharpened cry. At the TruCrime Cafe, we serve up the pain they try to hide away. Pour another cup of the truth you crave. Raise your glass to the names they betrayed. This is not a sermon, it's a battlefield hymn, a requiem dripping from the bottle's rim. The guilty write stories in invisible ink, but we'll drag it all up from the edge of the brave. At the TruCrime Cafe, the reckoning burns like a black bouquet. Every shadow will pay.
Okie dokie. Welcome back. Good to see you guys again here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Please, please, guys, pay attention. It is so hot today. We have a heat advisor out here. It's dangerous. Like, I went outside on my front porch, checked my mail, and literally lost my breath immediately. I felt like I had to open another door to walk through the humidity. It was that bad. So please be safe if you guys are going outside. Make sure you're staying hydrated and do not stay out there long, folks, because it is dangerous today. At least around here it is. If you're going through it, yeah. And we're in Ohio, folks. We ain't supposed to get weather like this. Just saying. It says it says 94, but the real feel is 104 with the heat index. 104 in Ohio, folks. Come on now. Please be careful. Yeah. In Ohio, y'all. We ain't Florida. Mm-mm. Yes. Pay attention, everybody. We need to hold on, hold on. What's this? Okay, everybody. That's the swamp ass alert. It's gonna be coming along with all that heat. So there you go. Faux show. Come on in, grab a seat, get off your feet. Make sure you're in some air conditioning, please. Make sure you got a nice big glass of something cold and liquid, please. Excuse me. Oh, sorry about that. All right. 55. I'll trade places with you right now or right now, Moonflower. Let's see who's joining us today. Gen 7S in the house. Welcome back, Miss Jen. Ms. Rowe, good to see you. Sweet Pea, welcome back to you. Mikey's in the house for the last 24. Great to see you, brother. Thank you. Beach Babe in the house as well. Thank you for being here. Tiki Bar, what's going on with you? Good to see you. Let me see. Who else we got here? Moonflower Laza, good to see you. Yep, see? That's where I got it from. North Carolina Mountain Man out here working in this stuff. 92 currently. Better be careful, bro. That's all I'm saying. Gen 7 again. Good to see you. Becca, welcome back to you. Sleepy Kitty. Meow meow. Great to see you today. G Beans in the house. Good to see you. Ozzy McGlynn. Thank you for being here so much. Very appreciated. Sluther sliding in. Good to see you, Miss Sluther. Thank you for joining us today. Witchy was, Witchy is, Witchy who. How about you? Good to see you. Thank you for joining us. Let me see here. Dun, 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 dun. Luther was dancing. She likes dancing on in. Lola Getz, welcome back to you. Great to see you today, dear. I think I got everybody. Let me check the bottom down here. And of course, welcome to the Blue Crew. Thank you all for being here, taking time out of your busy lives to come in here and join us to do your Blue Crew stuff. We appreciate that so very much. More than you know. Thank you all so very much for joining us. Gonna be 96 in Dallas. Pool is ready. Jesus, yeah, so is mine. Um, Amy Locke, welcome from Bulgaria. Great to have you here. Love seeing people from out of the country in here. It's amazing. Mrs. Lori from Crime and Chaos, good to see ya. Turkey Creek's in the house. Good to see you as well. Take a seat. Take a seat. Miss Cat K, welcome. Accomplished day. Great to see you. Looks like we have 89 peeps in the house so far. 41 likes. Let's see if we can make that match. Please and thank ya. Great show over there with Miss Kim today with Typically Unique. Thank you all for supporting her. Always happy to see you guys there. Blue-eyed butterfly floating in. Great to see you, dear. Thank you for joining us. Melissa Addis, welcome back. Rebecca Seidner. Great to see you today. Wendy Wells from Louisiana. Thank you for joining us. We got a Cajun in the house, guys. Come on in. Kenny Mag, welcome back to you. Stuck inside with a bug. Ooh, sorry to hear that, Stitches. I hope you feel better so very much. So we got Miss Tandy in the house stopping by on her lunch, possibly. Welcome, Miss Tandy. Good to see you, Seahawks fan. Thank you for joining us. Carrie Pazula, good to see you, dear. Pretty much Ben Lynn is pretty much in the house. Great to see you. Thank you for joining us today, as always. Much appreciated. Pretty much. And you're all so super nice. Thank you for being here. Hey, hey. Agape. Welcome to Agape. That's right. Go Cajuns, go. Where you at? Special guest today is going to be Jennifer Koffendorfer, everybody. Psych. Nope. Never. Nuh-uh. No way. Just kidding. The nightmare? Is it a dream or a nightmare? Either one, Tandy. Oh, I love you to death, even if you're not very nice. I know. It is what it is. Stop saying stuff like that. You're always nice. Unless you don't have to be. William Tardy's in the house. Thank you, brother, for your first of our goals today. Thank you very much for that. Appreciate that so much, brother. Let's see. At least I can make you guys laugh. Saber Sleuth, I'm sorry. Welcome to you. Good to see you today. You're out? Are you out? All right, then. Thank you for stopping by. She's a liar. She's very nice. Only when she doesn't have to be. And if she doesn't have, when that happens, you've done something wrong because she's very sweet. She can pretend like she's not, though. Oh, are you? No way, no way, no way. Are you kidding me? I would get thrown off of YouTube if that woman ever came on my panel. I'm just telling you right now. No way, Kat. No, no. I can't stand her. I tried to talk to her on Twitter. I think I lasted 5 minutes before I was blocked. So, yeah. Lost Faith, welcome. Good to see you. Yeah, but your name's better just because it's yours, Jen. Just because it's not her. Oh, I am not. I am not. Great. Good afternoon. Great to see you. Come on in, guys. Yeah. It's stuck in the same scene, all nightmares and daydreams. There you go. I like that. It is so, so hot today, you guys. My house is sweating. I'm just saying. It's so hot out there. I think the trees are sweating. Oh, we got another Jen in the house. Well, all of your names are so much better than hers, only because they're not hers. So I've always liked the name Jennifer too. Too bad she had to be named Jennifer. She's another horrible person, in my opinion. Yeah, agape love makes it. Gen 7 said Coffin Digger's a counterfeit. Her quality sucks. Amen to that one. Yes, Jennifer Hackenkoffer is not a good person, folks. And I don't understand how and where she ever worked for the FBI with the things she said and done. Like, she's just not a good person. I'm sorry. Not at all. What's up, Paco? Good to see you. Musical contestant, welcome to you. There you go, Witchy. Sue her for defaming your names. Absolutely. Holy hell. How many gens do we have in here? I think so too, Tardy. I think so. She doesn't make any sense. She does stupid shit. Skulking around somebody's house. No, there's cameras there. Like, how stupid are you? Come on. Ganja girl in the house saying, "It is so hot. I saw a squirrel ripping its fur off." I agree with you. I believe it. I am great, Contessa. It's great to see you here today. That was great. Yeah, something's not right there, bro. I just don't understand. Like, she says so many things that are just, your name is not Jen. I know your name's Luther. Don't be telling lies here. Beverly Fight, good to see ya. Yeah, she does strange things, guys. Like, somebody that works for the FBI or has worked ever for at ever at any point. That's why I always said she worked for the FBI. What the hell did she do? Was she a janitor or a secretary or what? She sure don't act like she knows anything. You're a Jen too. Okay, let's try this here. Anybody that has the first name of Jen for real, Sluther. If your first name is Jen or Jennifer, put a one in the chat. I'm just curious now. A paper shredder. That sounds about right. That sounds about right, Sweet Pea. If even that. Yeah, very, very much so. Yeah, Jennifer Hackenkoffer, I cannot imagine how or what she ever did with the FBI other than clean bathrooms or, type answer phones. Honest to God. All right, all you beautiful peeps. The link is pinned for anybody who wants to join me up here and voice their opinion on these documents and whatever else we get into. Come on up. Let's do it. My close friends they call you Jenny. Well, there you go. Uh, looks like we got one, two. Seriously, come on, Mount Man. I'm gonna start calling you that. If you're gonna put a one in the chat, I'm gonna start calling you Jen and Tandy. Get out of here with that. Oh, will the real Jens please stand up? Please stand up. All 70s and 80s kids. Yeah, it's true. Jennifer, Jenny was a very popular name in the 80s, that's for sure. I swear to God, I know like millions of them. You're fine, Saber. You don't have to worry about that. You, you don't have to worry about that at all. Just being here and hitting the like button is more than enough. Jenny from the block. Uh-oh. It's Tandy from the block, yeah. 1970. 1974 right here. I hope not, JJPP. You might have to go out and come back in. Only if two trailer park girls go around the outside. That's what Jen said. You guys got to do it. All the Jens will stand up. Please stand up if two trailer park girls go around the outside. Oh, that's okay. I know all of your phone numbers, Jen. All of them. It's 8675309, right? Guess who's back? Back again. Jenny's back. Tell your friends. Jenny's back. Damn. With all this music talk, I'm going to have to do a music stream tonight. I don't know. Maybe. Maybe. Jenny was Stacy's mom. Stacy's mom? Is that the one that's got it going on, Candy? Is that the one you're talking about? 1990. Ooh, we got a baby in the house. One can, Leanne. Welcome to you. Looks like we got 141 of you beautiful peeps in the house with 71 likes. Please headbutt the damn button if you have to. Kick it, knee it. I don't care. If you want to get gross and spit on it, do whatever you're doing. Just leave some DNA there for me, please, and thank you. Yes, she was Jesse's girl. I remember. I remember. Stacy's mom had it going on, and she was Jesse's girl. Yes. Are we going to start a whole thing here, Tandy? Keep it going. Yes, all of your Lane pictures are amazing, Miss Jen. Mr. Staley himself. I don't want to be like, too like. I'm just saying, that's why I don't show my true self on here because I look just like that, and I didn't want to get everybody all excited. So, thank you, Blue Eyed. Spit on it for me. Here's your trace. Thank you, Paco. Thank you, guys. Leave me a little trace DNA on that like button, all of you. That is very cool, Ganja. I heard he was a pretty cool dude. Just don't make him mad. Haktua on it. Uh-oh. Well, you guys are in the same mood I'm in today. Yay, yay. Oh, yeah, of course, Jennifer's Body. We all know about that one. But I've been hacked when I was on live stream before. Whoever hijacked my account and posted. Ooh. Well, you gotta protect yourself too. I understand. You just gotta protect yourself. I only use specific things that I know are safe, and I have them protected as well. So you gotta protect yourself. I was called Jenny as a kid. I absolutely effing hate being called that. And then my favorite band goes and writes a beautiful song called Jenny. Well, we won't call you that in here, Witchy. We'll call you what you call yourself. Miss Witchy it is. Witchy was. Witchy who? She's in here. How about you? All right, guys. 145 peeps. And nobody's going to join me up here today. Okay. I'm clean and fresh. I swear. I promise you I am. I smell good. I even put the cologne on for all you to smell, which I don't understand why I do that, but I do. One of them weird things that us guys do. I cut my hair, shaved, showered, all of it, and I'm ready to go. Ready to go. The 360 life. Welcome. Good to see ya. A female donkey is called a Jenny, and a male one is a jackass or a Jeff. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, very good. Yeah, ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh and so clean. Cologne too, William. Cologne too. I always do it. Mikey and I were just talking about that the other day. Like, dude, do you, like when we were doing the verdict room? I don't know why I feel like I have to go take a shower, shave, and all that stuff, and then put cologne on to come sit in front of a computer. If anybody can figure that out, because Mike does the same thing, I think there's other guys that probably do it too. You feel like you're going in front of all these people, like they're gonna smell me. It makes no sense to me. It just, but we do it exactly. Nobody can smell me. See?
Actually, the reason why I called in was because you said you showered. No, I'm just
Oh,
joking.
there you go. Now you don't have to worry about smelling no funk. You are right.
I was totally joking.
Yes, I absolutely. I'm even wearing. What did I put on? Savage. I'm wearing the Johnny Depp stuff. How does he say it? Savage. Elixir. That is what I'm wearing today. Smells good. I like that one. That one, and I like my big blue one that my mom and dad got me. It's Jimmy Choo. I like that one too. Yes, Savage. It's to make yourself. I think it is, Becca. I think you're right. I think it's all part of what I've always been that way too. Always, always. I don't care if I'm going to cut the grass and I shower and shave and all that. I just it's an automatic thing for me. I did not receive a book yet, Miss Rowe. I used to wear polo, the green and gold bottle. I wore that back all through high school and everything until I introduced myself to new stuff. Callie Rodney and Idaho are linked by ideology. That's interesting. Send me the proof, Saber. I want to see it. It's interesting. The Baj. It's good. My wife loves it. That's why I ended up with it. I used to mix it up, but it smells so good. I just stick with it now. Yay, yay. I got like 35 because my kids like to buy that stuff all the time. So they're just sitting up there. I use a little spray here and there. Oh. Welcome back, Miss Lori. How are you today?
I'm good. I hope you guys are all well.
Wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah.
Hey.
And it's Savage. I love that ad. In fact, right now, while I can't support financially the creators I like, I do support you by letting some of the ads play, especially when I'm just like replaying, not necessarily
Yeah.
live watching, because I know you
Right.
get credit with that.
Yes.
And oh yes, that is one ad that I will let play. The
That's funny because
Savage, like the Johnny Depp.
yeah, my wife was a huge Johnny Depp fan. So that
Yeah,
was
me
where she
too.
first saw the commercial where he's standing in the desert and he does the whole Savage. ele
Mm.
elixir with the guitar thing,
Mhm.
so yeah. And then
Mhm. Yeah, that's a good
I guess
ad.
she worked this older gentleman, she works as a, dialysis technician in a dialysis facility, and one of her patients there wears it. She's like, "What the hell are you wearing?" Like, she smells it all the time. It's this older gentleman, and he's like, "It's, I think he pronounced it Savage or something, he didn't understand it. He's like, "You know, that guy that had that crazy girlfriend, they went to court." She said, "Savage?" And she was like, "Yeah, that's it. My wife got it for me." And it's an older guy, which is so funny to me. Um,
Right.
she's like, "Oh my god, I love that." So then, of course, I ended up with a sample of it because my son has, he my Caden, you guys know who Caden is, the youngest one. He subscribes to one of those cologne company things where he gets something new every month. And so I tried it, and she was like, "Uh-huh, yep, that's it. That's the end of it. That's what you have to wear." So I ended up with that as a gift for Christmas, I think it was.
Oh, that's really sweet. And that's really, I love it how some things smell better on some than others,
Yeah.
or
It's all how you
pheromones.
mix it with
Mm,
your pheromones and stuff,
mm,
yeah.
mhm. I there's and then someone else that could smell totally different on and not as
Yes,
good. Yeah.
yes.
I would love to know how that really smells on Johnny Depp, but that's another
Right, if he
topic.
even wears it. Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's like with her, when I first met her, one of the reasons why I fell for her, just trying to give it a few minutes for everybody to jump in here and we'll get started, guys, because it's a new doc that we're gonna go over about give everybody a heart attack when we first read it. But in my mind's eye, good to see you. But Grace Kirk, welcome to you. When I first met her, wow, we went to school together, but we really didn't talk or anything, and then we kind of met back up after fact. We got divorced and all that. So she was wearing all the time too, and I'm trying to remember the name of it now. I just had it on the tip of my tongue. Oh my god, what the hell was it called? It's made by Estee Lauder, I think. No, no, it's a very fresh smelling type perfume. Come on, Dago. I have one. I have that too. I have the light. Is it called light blue or it's just a blue Dolce and Gabbana bottle? I have. Oh my god, not beautiful. No, she did wear that, but no, no. My mother wore a red door.
I used to wear Happy by Clinique. That was really light and
That's
fresh.
it.
Was it?
Welcome, Benny. Good to see you. Sorry, Lori.
No, that's okay.
Happy, happy
But
by
then
Clinique. That's what she was wearing. Happy.
that stuff was so amazing. I wore the
I,
body spray, not the
I,
perfume.
I'm telling you right now, I've never in my life been attracted to a perfume before. That one, like, did something for me, 100%. It was just like, oh my god. She left her jacket at my house one time when we first started dating, and she went away for a little while, a couple days or something. I would walk by and pick up her jacket and smell it just because I loved it that much. It really, truly, it was like the essence of her. She doesn't wear it so much anymore, but
They don't make that body spray. They quit making it. Unfortunately, cuz I can't wear perfume at all. Like it's just too heavy for me. It would give me a headache. Anyone who wears
yeah,
like a lot of perfume, I have to just kind of steer clear.
I
But
get it.
the body spray, it was totally different and I used to get so many compliments too. Like, "What are you wearing? That is delicious." Like, I mean, it smelled really good on me as well,
Yeah,
and I loved it, and then for some reason, Clinique quit making the body spray, and I couldn't wear the perfume, I was so sad. It was just super fresh and light, though. Yeah,
it
that was
is.
amazing stuff.
Yeah, it always smelled so good. It still does. Well, she has a bottle up there she got. My daughter bought it and wore it one time and come over, and I'm like, "What the hell are you wearing?" And she was like, "Happy." And I said, "You need to leave. You can't wear that around me. That's not even right." I said, "That no." She just laughed. And then the other one she wore was Ralph Ralph Lauren. Shit. Those were the two that she wore all the time. Not romance. Um, Happy Ralph Lauren something. I can't think of it. It was in a gray bottle.
Hmm.
I cannot think of it to save my life. It was the other one she really she wore it a lot. And then Boucheron, which is a French one that she got that her grandmother had bought her, which is very used to be really expensive in a blue bottle. I remember that one. She wore that too for a while. But what the hell was it by Ralph Lauren?
I don't know. I only remember Polo from Ralph
That's
Lauren
I
from
wore
back
that all
in
through
the day.
school.
Yeah, that was for guys.
I
I
wore
like
Polo
Chanel
and
hat.
Dracar.
Oh
What'd
my
you say?
gosh, that Jakar, Jakar. That was with a D, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I had
Yeah,
that.
I remember that. That was the stuff back in
Yeah,
the
we wore
day,
that
in
way
the
back
80s.
when.
Yeah, that smelled
Dra-
really good.
Nope, not cashmere. Is it romance? It
I don't
might be
know.
romance.
I only could wear happy. That was all I could ever wear, and I'd get a headache. I don't know.
Another one she wears now is it called Janie had a gun? No, Janie got a what the hell is it called?
That's an Aerosmith song. Did they have a
Yeah,
perfume?
it is. Hey Kim.
Janie's got a gun.
No, it's something like that. It's something that her daughter got her and it
They
smells
had a
good on her.
perfume though. Oh wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
there's a perfume that's something like that. Viva la Juicy.
I was
Oh no, I gotta mute. My
the
dogs
body work.
are
I
being
have
obs-
that one too. I have that canny, yes. I've had that for years though. It's been sitting up there forever. Boop joop. I think it is. It might be Romance by Ralph Lauren. It might be. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't know you had a pool, Kim. You have a troll bashing you, huh? Did they get rid of them? G, and they won't come in here. I promise you that much. Juliet, that's it right there. Thank you, Mary. Yes, that's the one. The other one she has. Yikes, that smells really good too. Juliet has a gun. Rawr.
Yeah,
Somebody's
sorry.
puppy. It's okay. Can you hear us, Sweet Pea?
Yep, I'm here.
All right. Everybody can hear everybody, right?
Yes,
English
I
leather.
can
Oh
hear you
my God.
guys. You hear
My
me.
grandfather. Yep, I hear everybody. Okay, good. English leather. My God, my grandfather wore that. An Old Spice. Okay. So, when I first pulled this up, since it looks like we got everybody in here, guys, please make sure to hit the like button if you will and share it out. Thank you. Bye, Miss Dandy. Don't work too hard. We'll see you later.
Bye, Seahawks.
A nay. Ah, I'll have to check that out. Thank you, Moonflower. Uh, okay. So when Kim was live, she said something about new documents, blah, blah, blah. Then she said the word appeal, and I was back and forth doing things while I was listening. And I was like, oh, no. And I thought, wait, what? Is it really an appeal? Which it's not. Don't get excited. In fact, the way it's written, when you first read it, if you don't read all the way through, you think it's an appeal, as I will show you. And we're going to read through it. I can't seem to pull up the document site anymore the right way. So I'm just going to pull it up from Sarah. Sarah D. Irish, if you guys will, please subscribe. One of the mods put her link to YouTube in the chat. I would appreciate that very much. The Bomb Toys joining us today. Good to see you, dear. Did you get your broomstick fixed? I take it.
My broomstick? No, that was Shelby's broom, not mine.
Oh, okay. Okay. Well, you got your way in here either way. So thank you for joining us.
Yeah, I don't have to pick up the boy until 5:30.
You got a little time then. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Hi,
So
Tom.
how hell is it down there today?
Um it's hot and muggy and ugh. I think it was when I came in earlier, it was 95, 96.
But what's the real feel?
Um, Probably about 107, 108.
Exactly. Oh, 1 minute.
That's how it is in Missouri too.
Where do you live in Missouri?
In the middle of Missouri,
I
like
went to,
smack middle.
I grew up in Oak Grove.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and I went to University of Missouri in Mizzou.
Yeah, that's where I went to. That's where I actually graduated from.
You too. So we're Tigers.
Yes, we are Tigers. Yep, I got my
Oh my
master's.
God. Oh my
Everything.
God.
We're Tigers.
You guys are killing me with this.
It
Yeah.
says real feel is 101.
It's 104 here with the real feel. In Ohio, folks. She lives in hell, and we're hotter than her. That's crazy.
Yeah, it's hot today. I'm sweating. Can I ask a real quick question? I was listening to
Yes.
another case that a guy killed a girl with a
Wait a
knife.
minute. Wait a minute, Terry. Stop. Did you say you were listening to another case?
Yeah, I was listening to Mr. Ballin.
So you're cheating on the Idaho 4 case and listening to another case.
Well, I was kind of wanted. I know. What can you believe
Shame,
this?
shame, 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 ma'am.
You know what? The similarities were so. It was just so weird. A guy killed this girl. He stabbed her multiple times. He didn't know her. He had stalked her, and then he just she worked at a gift shop, and he decided that he was gonna go for it, and he abducted her and killed her. And
Yeah.
so he didn't even know her. So they say knives, if you stab with a knife, it's more personal. But he didn't know her at all. He overkilled. Once again, didn't know her. And there was something. Did they do any type of phenotyping
I
in
have
this
no
case?
idea. I have no idea, dear. No
Phenotype.
idea.
Do you know what it is? Is they did that there, and they can take the DNA and put it, and they can kind of come up with basically like the color of the eyes, the color of the hair.
Oh, yeah. I don't think they did it all.
That's ridiculous.
It would be interesting. Well, first and foremost, Terry, they didn't welcome Randy Furr, my brother from another mother. Good to see you,
Hi,
brother.
Randy.
They didn't even test the other DNA on the sheet or on the on that they found at the house, Terry. So, do you really think if they didn't even test that DNA that they're going to do it any other way?
I mean,
There's
can
no.
you
I mean, it would
imagine?
be nice. It would be real nice if they would. I'm glad you brought that up too, because that'd be nice. Because then we'd actually know who it really was.
I mean, it would give you an idea of their height, their stuff like that. I mean, they have the ability, and this was this was way further back than
Well, right,
Idaho before.
right. Unless the feds, like which he just said, unless the feds did it and hit it because of who it pointed to them. You know what I mean?
Hmm.
Which I think is what the reasoning for this is. I think that the person that true or the persons that did this, it's known by law enforcement who did it, and because of who it is, they can't put them out there. Whether it's because of their own fear or because it would expose them in ways that they can't be exposed. It's something in that realm, in my opinion.
Well, yeah, and this same guy killed one girl with a knife, right? Multiple times, and he had cuts all over his hands.
Oh
And
wow.
Brian didn't have one. And he killed four people?
Yeah, there's no way. That's another one of the big reasons why he was all fresh and clean, showered the next day in the photograph that he showed everybody when he went like this. And there was not a mark, a bruise, a scratch, pulled hair, out of place, nothing on his body. So killing four people and you walk away that way, you couldn't force me to believe that. You couldn't pay me to believe that. I'm sorry. This makes no, especially knowing the fight that Xana put up that was
Right.
obvious in her room. Okay, and then knowing that Kaylee may have fought back as well. So all of them had defensive wounds. So there's no way that a person, a human being, unless they're subhuman or some shit, went in and did that and didn't receive any kind of markings or anything on their body. I'm sorry. You'll never make me believe that. Now,
Especially if you're doing one person
right.
in four.
Yes. Now, when you look at somebody that has injuries such as Nick Mowich,
Oh, just cuts and scratches.
thank you.
That's
That
that's all
injuries
the
that
report
didn't
said. Cuts and scratches.
well, scratches from fingernails of people trying to defend themselves, and cuts probably from a knife that you were using to do other things.
It's just
Um,
ridiculous.
definitely injuries that did not come from a car accident.
Right. So,
So
Dago, before you continue, can I just say one little thing?
how little is it? Is it
It
like what
it it,
is it?
it's not huge.
Okay, that's what she said. All right.
They're asking for retesting of the entire case of the John Benet Ramsey case because of the
Yeah. Yep.
DNA analyst that pled guilty.
Yep. Yep. 29 years this woman has been. Logan talked about it, but yeah, 29 years this woman has been doing this. What is it, Tomboy? Over 1,000 cases,
Yeah.
folks. Can you imagine? I think everything she's touched needs to be retested. Everything.
Well, if I were her dad, I'd be suing the Boulder PD.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I fully agree with you. Think about that. 29 years, and you put your hands on over 1,000 cases, okay? And you admitted to it. So at
It,
that point, how do you trust anything she's ever looked at or touched?
what happens to the 1,000 cases that she touched? Does that drop them out? I mean, takes them
They
off?
should all have to be look. They should all have to be relooked at, in my opinion,
Well,
Terry.
yeah, I don't think they're going to get thrown out or anything. I think they'll look at everything first and then go from there.
Yeah, they would have to, in my opinion, they would have to. If the people speak up on it, I would imagine it. I don't think it's just automatic, but I think if like the defense attorneys were to speak up and say, "Hey, by the way, such and such was on our case. This needs to be looked at." I think that'll happen. Other than that, they're not going to automatically, I don't think, voluntarily do it.
The family members should have the
Yeah,
option to
yes,
say, this, she was involved in my loved one's case. I want it reinvestigated.
Well, yeah,
that's
it keeps everything
exactly.
off the table. I mean, you're going to have to relook at everything. Because if you, I mean, would, yeah, I would get an attorney right away.
I
Hire an
fully
attorney and
agree
stuff.
with you. If they're smart, the people that were put away, if anybody was put away because of her results, they need to be talking right now. They need to be, yeah, and that's something else too. And that's going to be interesting too. I'm glad you brought that up, Tomboy. Think about this, guys. John Benet Ramsey. We covered that on the Crimes After Dark. It was one of our series we were running on Sunday nights. That has been years upon years upon years. Okay, her mother's gone. John's the only one still there. People accused both of them and her brother of being the killer, possibly. There's been other people accused of it as well. So if they retest the DNA and it comes back to be somebody else, oh boy. I mean, seriously, oh boy. I would
What,
be curious to see all the cases she's covered, if it's been any cases we've looked at all.
what exactly did she do? I didn't know about this.
She fudged the results to go along with what the prosecution's case wanted.
And it was
Basically,
a DNA?
yeah,
Yeah. DNA results.
yeah. I don't have the exact words for it because I haven't actually looked at it. I just let Logan talk about it. But basically, the basics of it.
Manipulating and deleting DNA data.
There you go. Thank you.
Just
29
like
years
Idaho 4.
Yeah.
manipulating and deleting. Deleting.
Things that make you go,
Exactly. Exactly. And what her reasoning behind it, I have no idea. All I can think of is somebody either offered her money or some kind of a um job security or something to grow within her job, something like that is the only thing I can think of. Um why anybody would do that. And if you do a job like that, in my opinion, if that's what you're doing for a living, one, you should be proud of what you do, at least. Okay. Two, that's not a joke. That's not something to play with. You have people's lives in your hand, as we know. And she, in my opinion, should get so many years for doing what she did. Like, I think, I'm sorry, I know it sounds dramatic to say this, but in my opinion, she should get a life sentence because she took people's lives with what she did away from them, I'm sure. You know what I'm saying? When you do something like this, you take people's lives away from them. They may not be dead, but they've lost how many years of their life possibly because of what you've done.
Right.
That's my big issue with it. So
She only got 16 years. She
that's what I'm saying.
faces a maximum of 16 years.
That's a joke to me. That is a joke. If they
Oh
find
my
that
God. She's gonna plead
what
down
if
for
some
some
Because
shit.
they dropped it down from 102 felonies or 104 felonies down to 4.
that's insane to me. That's just insane.
Cybercrime, perjury, attempting to influence a public service, and one other one. Oh, manipulating and deleting DNA data.
I wonder if more charges would be pending if they can see like specifically each case like that she manipulated.
I'm
It,
sure.
yeah, because she can be charged with every case that
Right.
yeah.
So hopefully it will end up. I mean, if it ends up being so, she will do life, and she absolutely should.
I hope. I can only hope. Somebody like that, shame on you. I hope.
Scary.
How did they find out? Because they did an internal investigation and an internal audit at the DNA place, I guess, because three very high profile cases were overturned because she either lied on the stand or manipulated the DNA. So they kind of looked into it to see what was going on, and they found out more.
That's crazy. There needs to be an audit of all of these places.
Yeah, I agree.
She was able to get away with that for how long?
20 some years.
Yeah. So I mean,
29.
I blame her supervisor. I blame everybody that turned a blind eye. I mean, there had to be other people involved, not just her.
And that right there, folks, in itself proves that it happens, proves that it can happen, proves that it did happen, in my opinion, with this case probably too, without a doubt. I have no doubt. So people that are like, that doesn't happen, people don't do that. Sit down. Yes, it does.
Yeah, but my question is, how many other analysts did she train?
That's a good point too.
You know, to say, oh, that's normal. This is what we do.
I agree. Welcome, Miss Sophie, Miss Barbara. Good to see you. Um, Troy's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Okay, I'll catch up with anybody else. Is that her name, Joyce Gilchrist?
Who?
The woman that did it?
Yvonne Missy Woods.
I think somebody dropped down because they couldn't hear.
Oh, no, so that.
There you go, guys. Just to give you an update on that little thing before we get
Okay, so
started.
back to you can go back to his appeal, the appeal paperwork now.
I will do that here. Just one moment. That's her name, Yvonne Missy Woods. 102 charges were filed against her by the First Judicial District Attorney Office. Charged include cybercrime, perjury, and first degree attempt to influence a public servant and forgery. A little bit of everything. She pled guilty in the DNA fraud case. CBI reaffirms commitment to reform and excellence. I'd like to know how long they knew about this. That's my biggest question now. He pled guilty on the 23rd. Unbelievable, folks. Unbelievable. Joyce did the same thing in Oklahoma. Really? Is that where the Joyce Gilchrist name came from? Gotcha. Thank you, William, for that. Number 2 towards our goal for today. Check out, yeah. I've heard the name before. Thank you, bro.
Oh, Moscow PD knows about standards. They just don't give a fuck about them.
Yeah, that's a fact. Again, people not taking their job seriously. When you're put in a position like that, you can't make you just can't do it. Sorry. She was a forensic chemist. That's who that was. I remember that name. She was accused of falsifying evidence in order to help prosecutors in Oklahoma. She participated in more than 3,000 criminal cases in 21 years while working with Oklahoma City Police Department. Her evidence led to, in part, to 23 people being sentenced to death. 23, you guys. 12 of whom have been executed. After her dismissal, Gilchrist alleged that she was fired in retaliation for reporting sexual misconduct. So I'm going to say this, okay? A fact is a fact is a fact. 12 people were put to death because of this woman. And if it come to terms that what she did, that was because of her doing what she was doing, that makes her a murderer, in my opinion. She should get the death penalty.
Well,
Truly and honestly.
not to mention if some of the people that got put away really are guilty and then they get out because of this. I mean, she puts the public at risk.
I agree.
I had no idea that people were executed under her reign.
Yeah. This is
That's
the other
messed
one out
up.
of Oklahoma, Joyce Gilchrist. Yeah,
David,
12.
is the StreamYard link at the bottom of chat?
It's pinned to the top of the chat. It should be.
Okay, pinned at the top of the chat.
Yeah,
My
I see
bad.
it. I see it. Like on my phone, it's at the bottom.
Why? What's wrong?
But
Somebody trying to get in? Can you guys hear me?
I think probably
Nachos. I thought she was trying to get back in.
Oh no,
Yeah.
Sluther said it's at the bottom. Okay, sorry. I thought it pinned it to the top. Okay,
Thank you, Sluther.
that was creepy. Thank you, Sluther. All right, so like I said, when I opened this up, first thing I saw was order granting motion to appeal from interlocutory orders and denying motion to seal appellate records without prejudice. And I saw his name. So, of course, immediately I thought, oh my God, he filed appeal. Well, no, that's not what happened. Supreme Court docket number, blah, 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 blah. Ada County District Court number, blah, 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 blah. And on we go. So, it states here that a motion to appeal from interlocutory orders and affidavit of Ann C. Taylor and Doris Lunsford were filed by counsel. Oh, let me make sure you guys see it. I'm sorry. Probably too big there. All right. Were filed by counsel for defendant on March 16th of 2026, requesting this court for permission to appeal the district court's order on motion to unseal filed on January 8th of 2026. Now we're going to stop for a minute and talk about this, okay?
Wait, say that again?
Yeah. One more time. The motion to appeal from interlocutory orders and affidavit of Ann Taylor and Doris Lunsford were filed by counsel for the defendant on March 16th of 2026, requesting this court for permission to appeal the district court's order on motion to unseal filed on January 8th of 2026. I'm confused, y'all.
They're filing an appeal to unseal documents?
that's what it sounds like.
Yep.
That's exactly what it says.
Hence why I'm confused.
Permission to appeal the district court's order to unseal.
This is why I want to stop and talk about it.
What
Wow.
documents were sealed on January 8th?
Was that all of them?
I don't remember.
Well, you can't go backwards from there. You have to figure out what was sealed on January 8th.
That's what we need to find, and we're going to look at that as well.
And that was this year. That was of this year. So
the only thing I can think of I'm thinking. Hold on. Let me see if I can pull this real quick. 1 minute. Oh, I can't get back into that link anymore. I will look it up. Let me finish reading this part first, at least. Okay. The Idaho Statesman notice of non opposition to motion to appeal from interlocutory orders was filed by counsel. Oh, wait a minute. I see what this might be. For the Idaho Statesman on March 27th of 26, a motion to seal the appellate records was filed by counsel for the defendant on April 13th. Therefore, after due consideration, it is ordered that defendant's motion to appeal from interlocutory orders is granted, and the defendant is granted leave to appeal by permission from the district court's order on motion to unseal filed on January 8th of 26. Where are you at, Lucy? It is further ordered that counsel for defendant shall file a notice of. Hold on. Did somebody fall out the window? Miss Lori must have. It is further ordered that counsel for defendant shall file a notice of appeal with the clerk of the district court on or before 21 days from the date of this order, which shall proceed as if from a final judgment for order entered by the district court. It is further ordered that the defendant's motion to seal the appellate record is denied. Oh, without prejudice. Defendant may move to seal particular documents or to file redacted documents. Melanie Gagnapane, clerk of court. So they denied the motion to seal the appellate records. This is what I'm confused about. Hmm.
It involves the Idaho Statesman, so it sounds like
We need to see what happened in January 8th. Yeah. Hang on here. Let's see if I can find this document real fast, you guys.
Oh, here I am talking to you and I'm freaking muted.
What else? What else?
Go back and read Angie's comments in chat. She kind of tells you what it's about.
Anne was under the impression that those records would stay sealed. Oh, I'm reading back too far.
The Idaho Statesman wants to know what the defense spent the money on.
Money stuff. Yeah. Okay. So it's probably nothing then. Thank you, Angie. And I think, hold on, let me check something too.
Why do they want to know what the defense spent it on? Shouldn't you be worried about the state and the testing that they did or didn't do?
That would be my point.
Moonflower, every time I see that word, I think but I know it's Butte.
My butt.
No, she's in Butte, Montana. Every time I see it, I remember what my kid said. Mom, why are we in butt?
What's up, Joey B? Good to see you, my friend. Oh, wait. Not very welcoming here. I'll go. What are you talking about?
Awesome.
You gotta love kids.
oh he was saying about he brought up that Brian Enton covered this, and then he was like, "Sorry, I brought him up."
Oh, it ain't no big deal. Idaho Statesman wants to know how the defense spent their money. Yeah. Well, they
Oh,
should be asking that to the prosecution as well.
Well, yeah, because they said it was like $8 million. I want to know where they pulled that number.
Right.
I didn't. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, you're good, Joey. I don't know. You misunderstood something, but you're definitely welcome here. Yeah, you're good, Joey. I don't know. You misunderstood something, but you're definitely welcome here.
Did any of you see
Oh,
that Vinnie Politan also? I
I
didn't
didn't see
watch
it.
it, but he also covered the costs.
Yeah, I didn't see that. No, I'm sorry, Joey. I didn't see your point. It rolls through the chat when there's so many people in here. It's hard to see everybody. So, again, my apologies for not seeing you, but I appreciate it though. Um, I thought that the Benny thing wasn't that about the restitution though, Lori?
I no, it was just last night. Like it popped up across my laptop that it was no, I'm pretty sure it was about the defense and how much it cost, the 8 million, but I could be wrong. Like I said, I didn't watch it. I just saw it and I remember thinking that, oh wow, another mainstream media covering this. That's interesting.
Probably. Good point. Yeah, no, and that's another thing too, Joey. Anybody that's new, you're new, or if you've been here for 4 years or you're brand new, you're always welcome to speak. That's what I want you guys to do. So please don't ever feel that way, and you're always welcome here, truly and honestly. Anybody that doesn't want you to say things because you're new that's ridiculous anywhere. So, oh, here we go. I think you're right. Good call. Good call. Here, guys, real quick. Good call, Miss Lori.
$5.5 million for one case that ended up in a guilty plea. That was the bill that taxpayers had to pay for the defense of the Idaho 4 killer.
I don't believe that.
$5.5 million.
I don't believe that either.
So what is this exactly? Is this an exorbitant amount? Is this absurd? Is this ridiculous? It was a public defender.
Kevin.
He didn't pay a dime of it. He didn't pay a dime of it. Our system of justice provided him with a defense to the tune of $5.5 million to go into court and say, I'm guilty, I did it. That's what we're going to talk about. I'll compare it to some of the other big high-profile cases that we've covered through the years and try to figure out what's going on with our system of justice. And are you better off just getting a public defender rather than...
I have to go along with what Tomboy said, that's probably the combination of what it costs between prosecution and defense. There's no way in hell they spent $5.5 million for the defense because they didn't do nothing really.
Where did they get
Well,
that? They say taxpayers, but didn't they start off with $1 million and then they were granted another $1 million?
Well, hold on. That was for the investigation. That wasn't to prosecute or anything like that.
right.
So that's not even included in what he's saying.
No, because Moscow can't attest for that $2 million.
Right.
That was given to the city of Moscow.
Let's see what he's saying here real quick.
The estimated cost, $5.5 million, the breakdown. And then because the state pursued the death penalty initially, the defense required highly specialized capital counsel, right? Death qualified counsel. And it was led by public defender Ann Taylor, great attorney, by the way, was contracted at $200 per hour. Now, let me just talk about that number, okay? $200 per hour for a lawyer with experience and an expertise. That's not a lot of money. That's not a big number. That shouldn't scare anybody. That's much more than reasonable. Much more than reasonable. $200 an hour for a lawyer of that caliber, right? With second seat co-counsel at $180 per hour. Investigators, $45 an hour. Again, all these are reasonable numbers. But by the time the case concluded, public record disclosures and county budget adjustments revealed the total defense allocation neared $5.5 million. Wait a minute. If we just take the top number, okay, if we just take the top number, the $200 per hour from the lead attorney and all this, in the 2 years of this case, that's 27,000 hours. There's less than 9,000 hours in a year. There's less than 9,000 hours in a year. An attorney, when we work, right? When we work for firms, it's all about our billable hours. And I did the work. And the magic number that you needed to.
Thank you so much for that, Miss Laura. Does justice really begin with a J? Don't seem to think so anymore. Doesn't seem to. Thank you so much for that, dear. We appreciate you very much. That's crazy.
To get over, and some exceeded it by more than others. But like was about 2,000 hours. If you build 2,000 hours a year, you were working pretty darn hard. Okay, that's billable hours. That's not every hour that you're at work. That's every hour. That doesn't count when you go to the bathroom. Doesn't count when you're eating lunch. It's the hours where you're actually working on the case, when you're working on the file. 2,000.
Exactly, Candy. That's how you spell justice, with a big $sign, USTICE. Very good point, dear.
For a lawyer. 27,000 billable hours in 2 years. How many people were working on this case? Like the access to the number of people and experts and everything else, like, is through the roof on this, is absolute boom, through the roof. Unless someone is padding their billing, which I couldn't believe they would do. Why would you do that? That's like criminal to a certain extent. I'm talking about the number of resources that this penniless killer had. $45 an hour to get it up to 200. That's like 4 investigators would be billing all those hours. This is insane. How?
Amen to that, Witchy. Joke also begins with J. And thank you, dear, for that. Appreciate it.
How many resources were put into the defense, first, of someone who was guilty, right? That's how our system works. But I don't ever want to hear some criminal defendant or defense attorney crying about this uneven playing field. The number of hours that were billed in this case and the expenses for the experts that I'm sure they hired, astronomical. It's more than 2.75 million per year. And it was a guilty plea. It wasn't even a.
Sorry, bud. No offense, Vinny, but your boys at the state did that. That had nothing to do with the defense. So we'll talk to Dirty Santa, see what he has to tell you about that one. Welcome, Kane. How are you?
What's up, Diggs?
Okay, are we done watching this J-hole?
Couple more
That's a
minutes.
Muppet.
Mount to something else real quick. Hold on. The Jody Arias murder, Travis Alexander, 2013. Estimated cost was $2.15 million. The Jody Arias murder, Travis Alexander. The funding source was public funds, Maricopa County, Arizona taxpayers. The breakdown, Arias was declared indigent forcing the county to pay for her court-appointed attorneys, private investigators, massive roster of mental health, and forensic experts. And the county officially paid out that number right there solely for her defense, $2,150,536. I don't know. I don't think that's it. This is the things that were done. Alex Murdaugh, 1.1 million, 1.2 million,
And didn't get off.
5 point. What's that? No,
And he didn't get off?
no, Murdaugh? No,
No, I thought that they did a
they rolled his case. He got an appeal, I guess, but
yeah.
He's still in
no,
prison on the other crap.
yeah, he's not. He didn't get an appeal. It was rolled over because there was some kind of corruption going on in the background with one of the clerks or something.
Is there anything
Haley Anthony.
corruption?
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Is there anything anymore that doesn't have corruption?
Depends on what you're looking at. Okay, hold on here. Thanks, guys. We hit the goal. You guys rock and roll. One minute. I'm trying to grab something else. I don't know. I don't think I believe this. I don't think I believe it. 5.5 million. That doesn't make sense to me.
I don't either.
Overall, in total, they were saying it was 8 million. Something's wrong somewhere. Explain to me how. They need to show that then. I want to see where they get the number from, how they calculated it, and I want to see step by step what every dime was spent on. Then I want to see it.
That's what they're asking for.
That makes no sense to me.
So did they rule that they can show it or not?
No, they ruled. Yeah, they did. I'm sorry. It said that the ceiling was denied. So here's my question, though, you guys. The way this sounds, and I'm not trying to attack Ann, but she wants that sealed so that it's not shown what that was spent on, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, if it's work product, she doesn't have to show it.
I agree. But why is she? I don't understand why. That's all I was wondering.
I mean, they do have 5 lawyers on their staff, right?
She's wanting it to stay sealed because it is work product.
That's what I would guess. And I think 1 minute here. Just 1 minute. Oh, here it is. So this is the next thing that popped up. And I don't know what I think of this. And I apologize right out front. This is put out by Project Cold Case, but hold on. I'm sorry right out front because of who you're going to see in a second. Don't be mad at me.
Uh-oh. Please don't be Nancy Grace.
Lucy was talking about this earlier.
Yeah. Hold on. Good old Frodo doing his thing. Just a minute. Let's see what they're saying.
I thought he was wearing Frodo boots for a minute there.
I wouldn't doubt.
I thought he was wearing capris.
And again, somebody the Blue Devil just pointed it out, guys. What have I been saying for about 3 weeks now? The timing. With all of this stuff that's been happening, the timing is quite interesting, isn't it? All right.
Timing is everything in this case.
100%. 100%. All right, Frodo, what are you saying?
They are reporting that public money on the case exceeds $8 million. $8 million spent on Brian Kohberger and his defense and his trial overall.
Fiscal authorization, $100,000 per year. That's the actual line item that sat inside a sealed civil case file in North Idaho, a budget line for a man who confessed to killing 4 college students and never once faced a jury. Picture a vault, not a courtroom, a vault bolted shut sitting inside a courthouse, and the only people with the combination are the defendant's own lawyers. That's what we're opening today. Before we go deeper into what the documents actually show, make sure you're subscribed to Audit the Case, because we don't just cover the story.
There was no trial, but his case, I guess I should say. Kohberger, remember, admitted to killing Kaylee Gonzalez, Madison Mogan, Ethan Chapin, and Xana Kernodle in Moscow, Idaho. Something that stands out about that figure, more than $8 million, is that, again, there was not even a trial. When you would hear...
That's why I struggle with the number, why I don't believe it, because there wasn't even a trial.
Figure like that, you would think like, oh, in a big long trial. Remember, there wasn't even a trial because Kohberger pled guilty. He admitted to this, and there never was a trial. Remember, Kohberger could not afford his own legal defense.
Never reached a single day of trial testimony. He pleaded guilty.
Lori, if you can hear me, it says your devices are not connected. I can't pull you back up yet. Once you get everything reset, let me know and I'll pull you up.
There you go. I remember, and Roey says something too here. I remember it being around $2 million when we were back in Ada County. You remember that?
Yeah.
They were
Yes.
and
Yeah.
it looks like they got $2 million from the governor. What did they do with that?
They had just gotten. Yeah, they were given more money before they did the change over to Ada County. I can't remember exactly when, but yeah.
I mean, but yeah, back in Ada County, you know what I'm saying?
When they were in Latah County, they got
Latah County. Thank you.
That's when they were given that extra money right before they switched over to Ada. So yes.
Yeah, that Ada County was definitely careful what you wish for.
Right.
It would have been the same anywhere he went in Idaho, though. He didn't have a chance in Idaho courtroom.
No, he wasn't going to have a chance anywhere in the state of Idaho, period, in my opinion.
No question.
That would just be like another layer to this if there is some sort of money fraud going on.
I was just getting ready to say, can you imagine if they laid that on top of all of this?
Jiminy Joseph.
I wouldn't be surprised, but look at what Lana's been exposing.
I wonder if...
Yeah, what did Lana pull out of her? Sorry, Tomboy. What did Lana pull out of her hat today?
We'll get to that in a second.
Okay.
But I'm wondering if Latah County and Ada County didn't build the state, and you got this big bill now, but instead of taking accountability for shit that the state didn't do, they're going to blame it on the defense. Oh, ask them.
Why not?
Don't look over here. Look over there.
Why not? They might as well.
The thing is, though, if there had been a trial, that would have been such a boon for whatever county that was in, because, I mean, you already had, like, me and Twiz were looking at getting an Airbnb in Boise, and, starting out, the prices were kind of reasonable, and then towards the end, you couldn't find anything but the Nancy hippies over there for like $2,000 a week. It was crazy.
And the entire state had all different Airbnbs, all non-refundable.
They were non-refundable, huh?
Yeah, they were non-refundable.
Yeah, it went sky high towards the end there, and so you just got to figure all the hotels would have been full.
I remember seeing that non-refundable thing. Sorry, Kane.
No worries.
It was because they had their reasoning behind that. It was a little article that was put out. Well, we have to we can't do any refunding because we would have lost business by not keeping that space open and stuff like that. Like, are you kidding me? Stop. Because it was guaranteed there was going to be a trial. And now if we were to give that money back, we could lose more money from people that could have been here and all that kind of bullshit. I was a whole little article they had on it. I'm like, oh my God. Yeah.
So imagine how many people booked their Airbnb and got shafted. Wow.
And those
unless you wanted a vacation in Boise.
those prices were probably up through the roof at that point
They were
too.
crazy, bro. Crazy prices, yeah.
That's
And you know,
extortion.
everything in that part of Idaho was like a section off from the house. Bedtime is at 10 o'clock. No visitors. Blah 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 blah. You know, all kinds of rules. It was weird. It was really weird. It was
Makes
like
you
grandmas
wonder
and grandpas.
how much they charge the county of Latah and the city of Moscow that they probably turn around and build the state to demolish that house.
Uh-huh.
Mm,
Good question.
it is.
Welcome, baby Ames. That's what this has been, guys. 100%, William. This has been a giant money grab for the entire state.
Fixler doesn't even really count as a fucking real reporter.
No, I agree.
Like, ugh.
Hold on.
4 consecutive life sentences. No appeal. And yet the bill kept climbing long after the gavel came down.
Defense, so taxpayers are the ones who paid $8 million, and his defense alone out of that $8 million, just the defense was $5.5 million. And that number is still rising even at that moment, which it's interesting to think about. Would his defense have actually been cheaper had he been able to hire a private attorney? Because remember, he had public defender because he couldn't afford a private attorney. But if even like a high profile private attorney, I'm told may have cost somewhere around $1 million for the case. Even if it was more, it would still be significantly less than, you know, the millions and millions and millions of dollars in taxpayer.
Preparing for a trial that was canceled at the last possible moment. Sit with that gap for a second. A guilty plea is supposed to be the cheap ending. It's the version of the story where the system saves money.
Don't you guys remember Bill Thompson talking about how he saved the state money because of the trial not happening?
Yes, I do remember that.
Uh-huh.
That was in the press conference or afterwards or whatever.
Yep. I
Yes.
saved so much money by eliminating this trial. Well, did you? Or did you just take the money you were saving and put it in your own pocket?
Maybe 4 million of that 9 million is going to be the prize money for the families that went along to get along with the WSU lawsuit. That'll be their $4 million prize.
Yeah, right.
Ro, I heard that U of I got 1.7 of that 2 million.
That's insane.
Oh my gosh,
What
for real?
what did they get that for?
I don't know.
Yeah, why?
To enforce to better police force, all that stuff surrounding the security of the university.
Oh no,
Makes
so
sense,
some another money grab.
So they raised everybody's salaries at MPD and said, "Thanks,
Yeah.
good job. You guys did a great job. Here you go."
The bottom line with them saving face at the university is going to be the INL, obviously the Idaho National Laboratories, which is the future of the University of Idaho. Basically, they are going to be the security for the national power grid for nuclear power.
Not just the University of Idaho, though. It's like 3 different universities that are involved in that.
Right, but University of Idaho is in charge, and they're training the people specifically for that. Yeah,
but they're training them at Boise State too.
Well, Scott Green sits atop of the council, though. He's the HNIC.
They're surprised.
Yep. And so for him to have if he had anything had tossed it aside, to lose that would have been the tragedy. That's why he's so glad that the political attacks of the stuff the shenanigans he was up to with the University of Arizona. Oh, he's so glad that got pushed aside when he was fully guilty and lied when he got caught.
I'd love to see what Scott Green's bank account, how it's changed over the past 3 years.
I would like
3
to
years
see
since
how much,
2018, bro.
How much
Last
did he-
8 years.
how much did
That's
he
when
charge
Moonstone
for?
Bank came into the picture. Sorry.
No, I was
What'd you say,
Moonstone
Terry?
Bank was 2018, and then as soon as he gets there, you get a deposit from FTX for like 80 million, and we're just talking about a little farmer's bank,
I'm just saying, and it's probably not relevant. It's not relevant to the case. My point is I'd like to see who all has made money based on this case. You know what I
I
mean?
think he double dipped because didn't he have his old firm?
Exactly. That's what I'm talking about. Yeah, the what is it again? What's the
The
old company?
financial thing.
Hogan Levels.
That's it. Yeah. Okay.
And it's not just Hogan Levels wasn't doing the investigation. What was the other company?
They're doing consulting.
Pepper
right?
Hamilton was doing the investigation. That's who the money got funneled to.
Yeah,
And
so he got
when he got caught,
he
said they said, "Oh, it was $7 million." It turned out to be $23 million that he was funneling to his old namesake there.
Oh, I'm not surprised. I don't think any of us are. We all know what
was
he's
that,
all about.
2020 or 2019, something like that. Gage, you remember?
Yeah, that sounds right.
Or no, that was like 2023 with the University of Arizona. So, yeah, but starting way back, he was already laundering money. That was his role, to come back there and handle all this money that's coming out of the frat. It's coming out of these cotton candy deals that are going on. You got to have somebody good in there to keep the money flowing.
Dirty Daddy Green. Well, like Williams said, though, he was already a millionaire. So that's, and again, it is important to know, though, the connections of the people that he's connected to and the things that he makes happen around that area, in my opinion. Scott Green, Sarah.
Yeah, why would somebody with all those millions of dollars take a $400,000 a year job as president of some boinky university? You know what I mean?
Williams I think he's trying to get some information as to what crime are you talking about, and he said it sounds like a separate crime. That was years before.
You're asking me?
I think so. Yeah, with what you guys were talking about.
Yeah, the University of Arizona attempted phony purchase. They even created a false bid from a fake buyer to up the price of the university, so that it was more valued higher.
Hold on, wait, stop. Are you saying that was not a valid deal?
No, it wasn't, and he was double.
Wait, hold on. slow down, because this is new for me. When did that come out?
He was caught red-handed in it, and I have I've played the interview a few times on The Purge of him reacting to it. He's had a couple scandals in the last few years. It was 2025 that we found out about the shenanigans with University of Arizona. Yes, or University of Phoenix. I keep saying Arizona. Thank you, Angie. That's right. Yeah, University.
I knew that the deal fell through, but I never had heard anywhere that it was no good.
What he was doing, Dago, is he hired Hogan Levels' his ex law firm to do an investigation into the value of the university, and he funneled through, what was the name of the other company again, Jake?
How would that help? How would that help Phoenix, though?
No, the other one. Pepper Hamilton works through Hogan Levels, and he funneled what he said was $7 million when he got caught. Turned out to be over $23 million just to do an investigation into the value of the university.
Right. And they were doing consulting. They were like the consulting company, finding out making sure if it was going to be a good buy, all this stuff.
Yeah, it cost $23 million to do that. I don't think so.
And don't tell me that he didn't get money out of, come back into his
right.
His own pocket.
You get a little chunk of that, and your old constituents get hooked up too.
I'm sure that would
Siren Sisters witchy.
I'm sure that would ease the pain of losing the deal.
Right.
Either way, you're going to win coming out of the end. Right. You're winning either way. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not surprised, but again, we have to the relevance to how and why this here is where we're going to we have to go back to at some point. I agree with what you guys are saying. Williams says it sounds like the consultants ripped Green off, though.
Yeah, no, that was all. It was all planned. Believe me, it wasn't them ripping him off. He hired them specifically on purpose, coming from Hogan Levels. He could have used anybody.
Yeah, I never got into looking at any of that.
We looked at it pretty deep, and then also we'll go on with the thing. I could go on for days.
I'm.
People are always asking why is green so shady, and we always have the good examples for you. We got going back to 2018 when he first came here. Lucy will tell you.
Oh yeah, there's a lot about him that we found out based on that. I agree with you there. He's not clean cut, but truly it doesn't have anything to do with this at this point right now, at least. But he needs to be looked into for sure. I agree with that.
Definitely.
Moving on.
Saves time, saves the public from a
Hold on, I think I screwed up here. 1 minute.
Angie's right though, real quick. That University of Phoenix is just kind of a scam university. Like 90% of their alum pay for like $160,000 for classes and never even graduate, and they just get themselves in debt. It's a tragedy. It really is.
That is a damn shame. I agree.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard bad things about him. Truly and honestly, I have. So I can agree with that one, Angie.
drawn out spectacle. Here it did the opposite. The plea didn't close the books. It just closed the courtroom. The financial paper trail kept running underneath in a file the public was never supposed to see. That file has a name, sort of. It's technically a civil case stapled to the criminal one.
And it's closer to 8.1, but give or take there. I guess the thing to take away though is we don't actually, those are identifiable costs. And so with the prosecution, for instance, we're not including things like the salaries of the prosecutors, because those are salaries that would be paid anyway, but it's just the hours that and time they're putting for it. Other items that are not included are any FBI costs. The FBI keeps that information close to the vest. They don't reveal anything with regards to any of their operations, and they view that as giving away some of those details. There's also no court fees or costs included in there as well, because the Idaho court system doesn't assign specific costs, something like the judge's salary or the bailiff's or the court reporter. They don't include that specific to a defendant, even though we know there likely were heightened costs for the court system tied to this particular case, including additional security and things like that during hearings like the sentencing hearing and the change of plea hearing, which you and I were both at. So those are not included and baked in, but otherwise, yes, the total all in is about 8.1.
$8.1 million. That's what Idaho taxpayers have paid, identifiably for the prosecution and defense of Brian Kohberger. A case that never reached a verdict, never reached a jury.
Yes, actually. So about $5.5 million was what the defense expenditures included. And we know that those are for the attorneys themselves.
Thank you, Witchy. Vampire Diaries Season 8, Siren Sisters, Unleashing Killers. Is that the episode, Witchy? Thank you for the super chat, too. Very much appreciated. I'm about to find that one and review it.
But also for all the expert witnesses and the investigators and all the work that was done as they were building toward trial, which obviously didn't happen. But all in. And I know that cost is firm. We know that roughly 5.5. And what's interesting about that is that Latah County was actually responsible for, it would have been all of it, but it ended up being about half. And I'll explain that in a moment. And then there was the creation of a state public defender's office in the state of Idaho. It transitioned. There was a new state law that switched it from a county-based system where they fund the defense for someone like an indigent defendant like Brian Kohberger, and then it transitioned at the halfway mark.
Williams just made this. Once you subtract the cost of FOIAs, is it really 8? That's an interesting point, William, because look what they're charging for these FOIAs, these records requests. Okay, it's an insane numbers. Look at how many times Logan has been double charged. People were charged and told $20,000 for this and 14 for that. People, where does that money come into play with this? That's my question, truly and honestly. That's a very good statement to bring up, or a point to bring up, William. Bicca only made 165,000. We saw what Ann made before, but I'm curious. I am very curious. I'd like to know what Thompson made on this, to be honest with you, truly.
would like to say that I think it's outrageous that having a defense should cost that much money, period. Can we talk about, I mean, that's insane.
Of course. Of course.
Like, how is a poor person, I mean, I see how this, like, I mean, Brian got, obviously this is a, you know, a lawyer that was given to him, but the fact that nobody could afford their own attorney at this rate, of course you're going to have this.
Well, let's bring that into that and ask yourself the question, what would have happened if, let's say, and I know it wouldn't have happened, but let's just say, for instance, what if Brian were to bring on somebody like Alan Jackson instead of the public defender? What do you think the price would have been then?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
I am
That's
curious.
crazy.
Yeah.
OJ's was only 2.4 mil. Yeah, but that was also how many years ago, William? Do you think the prices have changed since then? Because of the time, you know, the period of time that it was? Did Tomboy fall out the window?
I think
Or
so.
she jumped out the window. That was my thought. Probably at least 2 million for somebody like Alan Jackson, I would have thought.
But 5 for the operation that Ann's running.
Right. And I know they're trying to they're throwing in the mix because it's a death penalty case and you have to have death penalty accredited attorneys and investigators and all these other people, but really, I don't believe it was that much. It doesn't make sense to me. Just on the defense side alone, it makes no sense.
No, me either.
Redactyl Factyl, welcome. Many don't know all my stuff on this case. I'm going to reach out to Dago, but I'm very petrified to share. I had leaked some pertinent to Lana, but she doesn't acknowledge. If send me the emails, Redactyl. It'll be kept quiet. I can promise you that. Okay. Because I know who you are, and I think you've sent me an email once before. Just go ahead and send me what you're going to send me, and I'll make sure it's covered the right way. Hanky Panky, good to see you. Hanky Panky said death penalty cases also need mitigation attorneys. Well, yeah, of course. I just can't imagine that the cost matches that, is what I'm trying to say. Does that make sense? Can you guys all still hear me?
I can.
Terry? Kane?
Yes.
Okay, maybe Kane can't. He's muted.
Kane has a trash can lid on his head.
That's a UFO.
I know. You see.
That's his home planet. That's where he comes from.
He's silly.
Love you, bud.
And so the state basically ended up picking up the bill. So Idaho or Latah County spent about $2.75 million for Brian Coverter's defense. And then that transitioned then over on the state side in the lead up to trial. And then as he pled, and there's been some residual costs and some different things, some billing, they paid about 2.67.
$5.5 million of that $8 million went to his defense alone. The lawyers, the experts, the investigators, all.
Yeah, and then the things to take into mind, and I include this in my story, but I explain that there have been lots of research studies, mostly through academia, but for the neighboring states in Oregon and Washington, which both used to have the death penalty, neither do anymore.
Welcome, Wellington and Kiss Me. Good to see you both. Thank you for joining us. Anybody else that has joined us since, thank you for being here.
I was eating, sorry.
Oh, you're okay, bud.
There have been studies that show consistently, on average, a capital case, a death penalty case, just to pursue it costs at least $1 million more. So had they gone to trial and had there been a conviction and then a jury was weighing whether or not to sentence him to death. And
Bobo boy, come on.
Okay. Well, I'm good with
Bobo,
this.
there's no steak in there.
I can't handle looking at him too long. So anyway.
Okay.
No, Frodo and Mr. Fixler here.
I do have thigh-high boots on, though.
Hold on, guys. I'll be right back. I have to go throw up my lunch. That's a good question, ABI. I'd like to know when it's coming myself. I didn't get an actual date. The new Prime documentary, whatever the hell it's going to be. Eddie's in the house. Good to see you, buddy. Um, yeah, I'm curious too because whenever that comes out, expect something shortly thereafter to happen. Always what happens, in my opinion. So I'm curious to see when and what.
Is
So
there any way that at the state of Ohio, like the taxpayers could sue for that much money going to a trial that didn't? I don't know. I'm just asking, throwing that out.
they could question it. Somebody would have to bring a civil suit. But then you'd have to show reason why and prove it.
I mean,
So
if you had enough people, I don't know. It just seems like it was overkill. They spent way too much money, and certain people made so much money off this case.
yeah, I agree with that fully. Absolutely, way too much.
Yeah, I mean, there's a time, there's got to be a time that people stand up and say, listen, we're not paying for all of this. Do your job, get it done, and let's move on.
I agree with you. I agree with you truly and honestly. Yeah, I don't know how anybody would go about doing that. But like, here's what the thing is are you overcharging for certain things? They said they brought on extra security for the plea hearing and all that. I remember them talking about it too, but then I want to see it itemized. That's what I want to see at this point. At this point, I want to see everything itemized. I'm sorry?
Exactly. How do they come up with the amount of money and how much they charge for each special little thing?
I have no idea. It's all got to be broken down and portrayed for, the public. I would imagine at least the people of that area should be able to see it like an itemization. This is what this costs. We paid security guards for this much, parking cost this much. This was charged for this. Investigators were paid this much, that kind of stuff. It should all be broken down and fully itemized. And if they refuse to show it, there's your problem. Sorry.
Well,
That's public knowledge.
Who's coming up with the pricing structure? Is it who's doing that? And then
the government obviously would have to be.
Do they just? I mean, I would like to compare it to other states.
Well, yeah, that's what I'm saying. They need to show the itemization. They need to explain where and why they come to the cost that they do. Why it costs what it does, and explain it all based on what. So if it costs you, I don't know, $10,000 to have 4 security guards there for the plea hearing for the whole day,
right?
Explain why it costs that much.
That's a good point, David. Yeah.
Or how did you get to that point? Or why did you choose this company over that company? Why did you pay this instead of that? What was going on there? Who decides that? I think that needs, and it doesn't matter to us, and they don't give a shit to show it to us. But I think that the people of Idaho and that live in those areas that are paying those tax dollars deserves to see that itemization, in my opinion. So, if that
for the
point,
FOIAs too, though, also as well. I mean, that was a good point.
Of course.
They must have collected a fortune on those FOIAs because
they still are. They still are.
Scott Green's. How did it come? They didn't do a bid, or you know what I mean, where you have to bid on a job, right? They didn't even do that, did they? He just picked them.
What do you mean?
I mean, I'm just saying that a lot of this stuff should have had bids out,
Bids for what, Gary?
Okay, for example, is like I know this is not the criminal part, but like what we had been talking about with Scott Green, did he have a bid? Did he have other companies bid for that position, that to be that consultant firm? No, he just said they're going to be it.
Well, that's a separate entity from the state, though. It's a private source that he would. So it's not going to have to be shown to anybody other than the university
itself.
Shows
you the level that they operate on, though, and it's all this stuff behind the scenes. And here's the thing: once he was caught, there was no repercussions for him. He carries on business as usual. That's what's really sick about the whole thing. He's caught red-handed, and nobody is punished, bro.
I get it. I do.
I'm sorry, it really irritates me that a handful of people are the ones that chalk that number up because somebody is choosing. I mean, I just want to compare it to other places, other states, other, not just that.
I wonder
I
now.
understand.
Here's a question on the FOIAs: is it once that first like $14,000 is paid, now everybody can get the FOIA, or you have to keep paying that 14,000 if you want a copy?
Well, according to the way they explained it, once it's been processed and it's been redacted and all that stuff, you pay that initial fee first for the attorneys and all that high number, and then you'll just get a reprocessing fee charged to you to to do it after it's all been done. That's what they say. But I question that because, like I said, Logan has been charged double charged for shit more than once. Um, and I know it's stuff that's already been put out. So that's the issue I have with that. That's why I challenge that. Yeah, yeah. Like William, there you go. Like they've already fully done it. They paid the whatever they call that office time or work hours or whatever the hell it is that they charge you as part of that FOIA cost or records request cost. It's actually not a FOIA. Um, and
That's why
then once
prisons aren't cheap. That's hilarious, Laura.
well, that's what I mean. But like when they pay, exactly, Laura. When that's a good one. I like that. When you charge the full amount right out of the gate to pay the attorneys, to pay for the time for redacting and all that, okay? Once it's done, it's done. That document has been dealt with. Then there's like he's saying 30 for like a reprocess or a duplicate. But I don't believe that they're doing that. I think that they're charging full pricing on everything and they're just not telling people.
I mean, it's enough that they're charging insane prices on stuff, but then to double up people on that's just absolutely nuts. That's just totally taking advantage. It's just that's
They
exactly
fully
how that
did.
whole town operates, dude. There's no, they just skip along doing whatever the f they want, and there's never any repercussion for it. That's why Miss Potts is so adamant that one day the Fed's going to step into that little town and start flicking you little field mice like you deserve.
We can hope. We can truly hope.
Unless they're involved.
But it hasn't happened yet. And multiple people, myself included, have contacted the Department of Justice and said, "What's going on down here? Why are you guys allowing this, and this to happen?"
Yep.
Nobody's responding. So,
well, God forbid they get another high-profile case.
I agree.
You know?
Yeah. God forbid. I don't ever want to see another one myself, but God forbid this area gets another high-profile case. It's
How many
nothing.
people do
It's a
you
shame.
think they ramrod through the system every day?
I don't know. Look at their police reports that they don't take, and you tell me.
No report
for that reason.
Yeah, it keeps the crime statistics low. That's exactly their.
Got to make the college look good no matter what.
I wonder if they raised the price to go to University of Idaho because they said that they had to add additional security and therapy and all of that kind of stuff.
Well, yeah, but that was covered under all that money that they got, so you don't charge the students extra.
They did cut the staff though. There was a staff cuts.
No, there was staff cuts because they wouldn't sign NDAs.
Because they wouldn't take the vaccine.
If there's another high-profile case, do you think Molly will be involved in that one too?
I guess
I wouldn't doubt it.
Charm, huh?
Best friends with them.
That's not even crazy funny because I wouldn't doubt it. Once you're a paid actor, you're a paid actor. Think about it.
Exactly, dude. All these people coming from Central Casting, dude. It's just what you see the Muppets in one case after the other. I swear to you, I've seen Kaylee in other cases since this. You know, it's like just in another form. I wouldn't be surprised if what that one homeboy says that they were just all extracted or something. Who knows, man?
No, that I know, and I won't ever believe that. And I don't know about the Kaylee thing, but I'm talking about the criminals involved in this. as
Yeah.
well as the law enforcement involved in this, of course.
Look at Jason Jensen. He was the guy that was going to find the knife sheath. Remember, he was going to go on this search with ISP.
Yeah.
I called him, and one of the numbers, the first number I called, was the Human Bean coffee restaurant. It was what you call it? He was using a coffee restaurant as one of his contacts. And they're like,
What?
you realize this is a coffee house, right? I'm like, well, he had this as one of his contacts. He had like 8 contacts. That just happened to be the one I called. And then I actually got him on the phone and I asked him about it. And he's like, oh, well, can we schedule another day? We're on air, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, did you find that knife sheath yet? And he did find a knife sheath. He pretended to find some knife sheath. Oh, it has nothing to do with the case, but isn't that weird? I found a knife sheath. It's like, dude, he was in the Gabby Petito case doing the same crap. I'm surprised that Dog the Bounty Hunter hasn't popped his head into this.
I've been waiting. I know. Did you say Jason Jensen was in Gabby Petito's case too?
Yeah, wasn't he in Gabby Petito case, Jake?
No names.
Yeah, he was part of that case too. Yeah.
Not that. Well, I don't know if it was the Gabby Petito case, but he was involved in that other murder of the 2 gay women in the area where
They were killed when Gabby. Yeah.
Oh, okay. I see. Yeah. I knew.
Yeah, because they tried to. We thought when we were looking at that, we thought there was a possible connection between the 2.
I still think there is because they saw them that day at the restaurant.
What do you think? Brian killed them too?
Who saw who?
No, Brian and Gabby saw those 2 girls at that restaurant.
Right.
Yeah.
And then they ended up unalived, right?
Saw a whole bunch of other people at that restaurant too.
Yeah,
and there's like 0 unalivings in that area in like 20 years or something like that.
And they were also camping right by him.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah. They ended up in that lake shot.
Genuine.
Oh,
We're
Lord
talking about
Almighty.
Gabby Petito, Brian Cove, or Brian. Oh my God, Brian Laundrie, right?
Yeah.
I thought those 2 women were in a completely different area.
They were.
They were at the restaurant though. That's where they saw him.
Well, they said they saw a creepy guy. They had a creepy guy that was next to him, and
Yeah, but it wasn't the description thing that I read when we were covering that. It was an older, like homeless looking type person or something like that. I thought didn't look anything like Brian Laundrie. It doesn't matter.
Yeah, I think you're right, Diego, man.
I don't know if you guys have heard the conspiracy behind that whole story, that he's not actually dead, that he's living in Mexico somewhere, and that he faked his death and had teeth pulled and all sorts of shit to prove that.
Dude, I mean, here's the thing.
Don't go nowhere with that, folks. I'm just asking if anybody heard it.
Moonflower, you are correct. They saw them fight at the grocery store or outside the grocery store.
Anyway, yeah, the whole thing with that is overnight, his bones were completely clean and whatever, and the FBI just found his bones.
Well, how come they
in
did
that kind of park? There's not the kind of critters.
No.
Serve
Hold
that
on.
kind of purpose.
Hold your pants for a minute, bud. The thing that I have the biggest problem with is that his dad found his bones.
Yes, thank you. That was what I was going to say.
Is that right? Wow.
Yeah,
Yes.
his mom and dad walked directly to where he was sitting. So there's my issue with that.
I mean, they had been searching for him for days, and all of a sudden his parents went out there and boom, they found him.
There was a thing when that happened that News Channel 8 was doing the flyover with the helicopter, and the helicopter pilot's doing the play-by-play, and he's like, oh, yeah, there's a van pulling up right now, and he's got some kind of craft he's pulling out of the van, and blah, blah, blah. And then you see the guy at the van do the cross the throat symbol, and they like, oh, he totally changes the subject and flies somewhere else because they were pulling out this secret drone, I guess, out of that van, and they were trying to cover it up at that time.
The way this happened, it's so stupid, okay? His parents sat still, didn't move, dead quiet, okay? But the problem is it didn't make any sense, okay? They didn't move, talk, speak, go looking for him, do nothing. One day they just decide to get up and go looking for him. They walk around for a little while in one area, Then they go to the area that Brian Laundrie was actually sitting at. His parents walk back into that area. His mom goes one way, and Chris, his father, turned right and walked right over to his body.
Yep.
And they
There's a
found his
problem.
laptop there or something like that.
It was a dry bag.
Yeah, right. Completely weird situation is all I'm
Yeah.
saying. So anyway,
Okay, can we go back to Brian now? Thank you.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I don't know how we got over here anyway.
The first.
That's what I'm wondering.
Anyway, back to where we were at. I can't even think of what the hell we were talking about now.
We were talking about the $9 million.
Yeah, the money.
Well,
No. Moving beyond that. The money itself, like I said, all I'm saying is they need to show, based on the document that we just saw, that was just released. Yes, moving forward. Thank you, Sluther. I think they need to show an itemization of what it cost, prove to the world what it was, and move on. That's the end of the story. But at the
Well,
same
so
time,
to the state.
that's what I was just getting ready to say. Thank you. It's at the same time, the state needs to show it as well. Every side, both sides can itemize themselves, show it, break it down, and here it is. You know what I mean?
Right, but because it's Brian and, he's this evil dude or whatever, they're going to harp on anything and everything that has to do with him.
As they always have. And and here's like Tomboy said this earlier. I think it was you that said it. And I think this is probably more than likely the truth. Okay. A lot of this has probably come from the prosecution side of things, and they're just going to toss it over to the defense and make it, well, they did this, this, and this, and they know that the whole world is mad at the defense right now anyway because they defended Brian Kohberger. Let's just blame it on them and let them take the fall for it. I would not be surprised if that happened, you guys. They've done crazier shit. They've done weirder things. I'm not saying that's what they're doing as of yet, but I find it so hard to believe that there's a $5.5 million bill due from the defense side of this. I want them to show how. I want them to prove how. That's all I'm saying. It makes zero sense to me, and I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Did Anne up her cost from
No.
when she went?
She wasn't even getting paid for a while at a period of time, if I remember right. If I'm correct, isn't that right, Tomboy?
What?
Wasn't there a point in time when Ann wasn't even getting paid for a little short period of time?
She's still getting back pay.
That's what I thought. So at that point, explain that then.
Because they realigned the pay and the guidelines for the public defender's offices. So she's still getting paid.
Makes no sense to me. But anyway, and just so everybody knows, sometimes we trail off, and everybody has the right in this community to speak their minds and discuss what they want to discuss about things as long as we can stick to our topic. That's important. I just don't want anybody to get all weirded out about it. We have occasions to jump sideways on things.
Yeah, calm down, Zap.
It happens from time to time, but I just don't want to be anybody upset over it. Anyway. So moving forward
in Idaho, I have addresses that I can use in Idaho. I don't know why people in Idaho aren't getting FOIAs.
Then
why don't want anything to do with it? Nobody in Idaho wants anything to do with it. Look at
I know.
At Nicholas or Timmy Reed's lawyer. He was all up in it 1 minute, and then something turned him away, and he was scared. He wouldn't talk to anybody. They wouldn't even answer my calls or emails. Like, are you the one that keeps calling? I'm like, yeah, I keep calling because I want to talk to him. He's the representative for Timmy Reed, look how they buried that case, for God's sake. We were up their sphincters for a year and a half already, and for some reason, we didn't find out about that until 2 months later.
I agree with that point. Read deeply. I'd like to know that myself for sure, too. Remind me to talk to you later about something, too, Tomboy, I just thought of.
DBs, I want to know properly how to do high knees, too. I know how to do high knees because it's a winery, but...
Oh, they have a Heine's dairy cheese thing in Amish country here.
Yeah, there's a place up towards Lisbon. It used to be called Heine Winery.
Heine Winey? It's hilarious.
I agree with that, too, ABI, especially in a capital case. There should never be a plea deal. Ever.
Yeah, I said the same thing.
Not with that allocution, that's for damn sure.
Not at all. If you're involved in a capital case, especially like this, like a quadruple homicide, that should have to go to trial. Period. No matter what, it should have to go to trial. And I know, I'm sorry for anybody that's friends with Bill Thompson, that Bill wouldn't have a job if that was the case. But I'm just saying it should have to go to trial if it is a capital case. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we're owed that trial. People of Idaho
No
are
plea
owed
deal.
that trial for sure. But I mean, what our twizzling point is, what was the factor that got them to accept the plea and for him to take the plea with no allocution? You know what I mean? To be able to just be like, okay, yeah, I'm guilty. Let's throw in all the towels and everybody. Let's move on. What was that turning point, dude? That's the sticking point on everything. Something motivated that factor. Something
Good
beyond
question.
our knowledge.
I understand what you guys are. I know what you meant
Is
by
there-
that. I know you were saying the opposite too, by the way, AB. Abby or Abby. You
JJ's
can't take
thoughts on
away a
that.
defendant's
He doesn't
right to
want
plead.
get involved.
The problem though is like in a case that's this big, okay, you're giving somebody an automatic out. And that's what I don't like about that. In a capital case. Any other case, it's whatever. Plea deal it away. I don't care. But something like this, I don't think there should be allowed to be when the death penalty is on the table. That's my biggest issue. That's all. Anyway, welcome self help. Good to see you.
I mean,
Harry
here's
Potter.
the thing. I've done when I did the MK and Ultra channel. We showed almost exclusively like body cams, just like trigger warning. And these body cams are people getting their lives taken by the cops, or the cops getting their lives taken by the criminals. And at most, they would blur the final wound or the face of the perpetrator. You know, I mean, that was rare. A lot of times they just show everything, dude. And for them to blur out the corner club and interviews with people who we know who they are and all this redaction in the documents, it's insane, dude. It's so far beyond insane. It's like we've gone over the edge. Let's just go ahead and just take the whole mess with it.
They still show. One was saying in NYPD, they show everything on their body cams. They put it out to the public for them to see. They don't redact almost anything at all unless it's like gore, blood and gore, or something that you just should never put out. Okay, most of it, it's out there, even hardcore stuff. He said, and they put them out there for the public to see. Which I think that's the way it should be in some aspects. You know, to protect people's integrity in certain aspects and certain things. Of course, you don't show certain stuff, but it should be public knowledge because that's the public that's paying for that.
Exactly.
The redactions are ridiculous.
Well, and then you have the family fighting for more laws to keep more stuff from the public when, you know, turn the page back a page or two, and they were demanding more information the entire time. You know, it's the ultimate contradiction. Right. You know,
yeah,
right there. You know, within the case that, you know, this family's obviously got some kind of carrot at the end of the stick for them.
I don't know, but Avi says, I understand it's a popular position in our community that there should be no more plea bargains for capital cases, but the legal, and this is a true fact at the end here, but the legal complexities make it difficult and probably don't support that. I fully agree with you. I do. I just feel like it opens up things to happen when you allow for a plea deal in a case like this, like what we're just seeing right now. And it shouldn't be allowed. This should have to have gone to trial. The defendant should have to plead his case. The prosecution should need to prove how the defendant was the one that did this, and we should see it all. It should be all absolutely public knowledge, every bit of it, okay? You know, other than the integral things that need to be kept quiet. I understand that part of it. But, you know, this man should be able to sit in front of a jury of his peers, plead his case, and let them make the decision without being tainted and any of that. And that's not what is happening anymore. That's the problem. Okay?
Yeah, well, the press had already vilified him as guilty from the beginning. And
that's the only way he was convicted, Kane. That's
Yep.
the only way he was convicted. They had even their okay. I don't care what anybody says at this point. The circumstantial evidence they had was less than circumstantial. Okay, they had nothing. Not one, in my opinion. Okay, not one piece of evidence that could have ever proved that the man that's sitting in prison for this did it. But he's sitting there. And that is only because if you go back to when the man was arrested, from that moment forward, driving on, I call it the propaganda train, ran 24/7 on this, okay? Day after day after day after day. Brian did it. 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 He did this too. Oh, and he probably did that. And he may have done this. And maybe he did this. Look at him. Look at the dirty, dark monster that he is, folks. Every news channel played it.
Right. Look at what he had on his phone. He was an incel. He stalked them. Everything that they said. And here's the real kicker is that with the Hyundai and with Cellbrite, both of those investigations determined that the lack of evidence was the evidence. And
right.
Here Cellbrite's trying to build a name on it that, oh, he had used Eraser, this program Eraser, to get rid of everything. That's why we didn't find anything. Well, guess what? On his laptop, he could not install anything because he didn't have administrative privileges. It was a University of Idaho owned computer, but they claim that he put this Eraser program on there and erased everything, and that's how they caught on to that he was guilty. And then with the car, there was zero any kind of DNA, anything, even though they tore that thing down to the bolts. But that was the evidence because it was totally clean. My side doors would never be that clean. There's always dust in them. That was literally what Bill Thompson said.
That is okay, and they're also talking about a man that is on the spectrum, that is OCD. He suffers from OCD as one. So that means because you're impeccably clean and you don't like me, for instance, about certain things. I don't like anything to be out of sorts. My shoes have to be going a certain direction. The placemats on my table have to be straight and cornered exactly the right way. I don't like dust on anything in my house. That means I'm a murderer? No,
Exactly.
It doesn't, because I have OCD as well, folks. And I'm also probably on the spectrum as my son is.
The state never acknowledged that at all. Hey, that that he was on the spectrum, because that would kind of excuse all of the behaviors that he had, as opposed to making them criminally minded behaviors.
Right. OCD doesn't mean you're a criminal. That's a big load of bullshit, and I'm sick of hearing that.
And neither does autism.
And right. And that's another good point Lucy just made. Yes, that's true, Kate. He was up late at night cleaning and vacuuming, just as he was up late at night the night that he was arrested at his parents' house, cleaning things up and separating garbage for recyclables and everything else. And yep, here's the other point. Wasn't there a ton of shit in his trunk? Isn't that where they say he put his bloody clothing? They make zero sense, and I fully agree with you, Lucy. You are correct. And yes, to answer, Tomboy answered already, but that was AR that went on after me on Harsh the other night. Avi. Yeah, if that was your question. So 100%. Everything they've said that makes this, and I don't think, yeah, I know. Well, what's thoughts on the car, Tomboy? Exactly what? I don't believe his car was ever there or around there or anything. I don't think there was a car.
No, I mean when they confiscated it in PA.
Oh, that, yeah. Yeah, I know. Othram didn't solve the case. I agree with that. They're lying. I don't think they did half of what they said they did. I think they were told to say what they said.
Right. That this case has been used as an infomercial to propel these companies, and now Othram Labs is popping up in how many other cases now, Jake?
Every case that pops up.
All kinds of cases. They're from here to Europe. They are the go-to DNA lab because they solved allegedly this high-profile case.
And I'm not saying this because this is what I think. Hold on a minute. There's a lot of background noise. That's not you, is it? No. Hold on.
Is that me?
No. I think it's. I got it. I got it. It was basically, for lack of better terms, it has been an infomercial. Look who has spoken for them. Okay, and now they're the go-to be all, and they didn't even do anything. It's a joke, a complete joke. I'm sorry to say that, but it is.
I still
I
hear the background
I
noise.
fixed it. I fixed it. I'll unmute you, sweet pea, in a minute. It's just a lot of out. Sounds like you're outside or something. Hun. No big deal. Um. So yeah, that's exactly my thoughts on it. Is they used this case to make themselves prominent, and they used this case to put themselves in the forefront. That's all they've done. Period. They didn't solve the case, guys. Okay, we know they didn't solve the case. It's a line of bullshit. In fact, they didn't do what they were wanted to do, and I think that's when the FBI took over and took it from them and did what they were going to do. That's how I see it. So it is what it is. It's a complete joke. And this question right here, you guys, is a huge question in my mind and has been for quite a while. Grace is asking, has the whole town been threatened to stay quiet or else? Well, I'm not going to say that that's what has happened, but I'm going to say that I believe that there's an unwritten statement that has been put in play within this area to just not do it because I think there's a fear possibly.
But yeah, that's exactly right, Diego. And we've done a lot
Okay.
of deep dives into this. The gang stalking thing is a real deal thing that organizations like fraternities do. And you instantly come out as a whistleblower, and they will take you down and make you look crazy faster than you could say quick. I mean, you'll be spinning on your head, scared to death.
The thing is that in my theory, for who I believe or what I believe did this, the organization that it is involved in this, in my opinion, are very high profile. They're very strong, and there's people when they hear the AR, okay, they think that or the AB. I'm sorry, I'm thinking of two different things. They think, oh, it's just a bunch of people that don't like black people. That's not all this is, you guys. End of story. That's not all this is. I've heard people say that in many chats. I've seen it. Well, they just don't like black people. They don't just. That's not all this is. It's an organization. It's not 5 or 10 good old boys doing this or doing that. There's very important people involved in these organizations. You guys, you don't understand. Governors and mayors and doctors and attorneys and judges and people of high importance are involved within groups like this.
Senators and
Yeah,
Mormons.
exactly. Okay, I mean,
those are definitely your Masonic people.
well, we're not going to have a Masonic conversation. I'm just not going to get into that, and I'm not saying that they're not involved, but I'm saying very high profile people are involved within these organizations. So in turn, when your Uncle Larry works for the senator's office, okay, and he's part of your same organization, and you say, "Hey, Unc, can you give me a little bit of a heads up on this or that?" They all work together to protect each other. Remember that, because I've looked into this, and this is absolute. There's still things going on that used to go on in the 50s and the 60s that are still happening today. No matter how far advanced we've become, they're still happening today.
Exactly. Once you start
why,
making
I
that
don't
money,
know,
they
but
don't
it
want to
does.
let go of that money. That money's coming in. You got to keep that money coming in at all costs.
Well, that's a fact. Yes, absolutely.
You hit it on the head. That's a fact.
And when you say they do things to prevent people from talking, this is exactly what I'm talking about. They will specifically target you, and people know this, and they will drive you absolutely out of your mind. They'll have be just like the Scientologists do. That's why I do a lot of the Scientology equivalency stuff that they have, because that is how they operate. They'll get people to picket your house, to call you this and that in front of your neighbors, in the press, within minutes. Look at what they did, like with Dave Chappelle and these types of things. On the turn of a hat, as soon as you open your mouth, you're going to be shut down and made look like a nut. And
let me make a point real quick too.
Yeah.
Tomboy grew up in this area, and she's sitting right here with us. She knows the whole area very well. Born and raised to some extreme before she moved out of there. Still has family around those areas, from my understanding as well. And I'm sure I'll be corrected here if I'm wrong. How long has this town in this area and the surrounding areas been the way it has been as we see it now, Tomboy?
As far I can remember, back in the late 70s, early 80s.
And the people that you were raised with and brought up by and brought you into this world all know about the same stuff going on in their time. Do they or do they not?
Yeah.
So it's not that it's a new thing. It's not something that moved in and took over. It's not something that was just one day it was there, it wasn't there, and the next day it wasn't, or it was. This is that, or this is them. It's who this area is and
Well,
who's involved. You know what I mean?
One of the largest Aryan headquarters used to be in Hayden, Idaho.
That's the one they burnt down, right?
Yeah, after the judgment, yeah.
And then it was rebuilt somewhere else, if I'm
They
understanding.
they tried to get approval to rebuild the new compound in 2012.
But okay, let me put it this way then. Even though they may not have their own house or special house, okay, but they do. They're still there. They didn't go away. They have people on the insides of the prisons. They have people all over the place. Like I said, governors and senators and doctors and attorneys and important people that affect everyday life. So if the whole town, going back to that statement that Grace had, or the question Grace had asked, I'm sorry. If it's not that the town was told shut up, the town just knows. The people just live this way. They know what the area is like. People that come in from the outside, they learn it very quickly.
I told you there was a secret town hall meeting less than 24 hours after the killings.
Gee, and I wonder, I'd love to have been a fly on the wall.
Oh, so would I.
Also,
got
with the
right.
ISP at the Sigma Chi, the day there was 9 ISP vehicles outside of Sigma Chi. What, the day after? Right. What happened in that meeting? You know?
Well, I'm telling you, that's what I've said before. All the Stigma Chi interviews we saw, I promise you, before those happened, there was a meeting before that. And they all sat in on it.
Almost all the Sigma Chi interviews were done by Van Leusen.
Almost every one of them. And they were all the same damn shit. They were all scripted the same way. I promise you, there was a meeting with every one of those boys that sat down and said, here's what you're going to say. Here's what you're not going to say. In fact, they were given a questionnaire to answer. Okay. I think every one of them had that questionnaire they had to answer beforehand. They handed them all in and then they did their interviews. So again, I believe truly and honestly that there was a meeting and said, you'll say this, you'll say that. You don't say this. You don't talk about that. Don't ever bring this up. Don't refer to this. This is how it goes. And if you don't do that, there's going to be problems.
Wasn't that what an attorney does with their defendant, though? I mean, basically,
I understand that, but the thing is in a case like this, though, there should be no prerequisite to any interviews with something like this. You tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God. Period. That's how those testimonies should be. But they didn't do it. We know they didn't do it. You can listen to the things they're saying, and they're already telling lies about stuff we already knew. And they're continuously doing it. Look at Mason Barstow's interview. He completely turned that around. Look at Pete's interview. That was turned around too. Who did it? Did they do it on their own or were they told to do it?
And then you got DeGooch putting words into Dylan's mouth, and changing the whole narrative.
Every single one of them, Kane, did the exact same thing. They answered their own questions for the
Really? Because the entire PCA is nothing but somebody in the prosecution's office using word salad that makes all the interviews and all the other things look like you're just stupid because you couldn't even follow the script either.
Exactly. And then they topped it all off with bullshit dressing so that it all fit right in hand.
Yeah, the PCA is an imaginary document. That's for damn sure.
The prosecution themselves said it's irrelevant. Well, if it's irrelevant, why did you put it out to begin with?
They had to get it past Megan Marshall into that hearing.
She's like the queen of corruption.
Yeah, she's no better than any of them. She started it all off, you guys. Think about it.
She authorized an arrest warrant on all lies that nobody ever looked into.
And then the people in the what you call it, were all skeptical that Dylan was telling the truth.
Oh, the grand jury. Yeah, they
The
had
grand jury, thank you.
questions.
They had
They wanted
questions,
to
but
indict her.
that completely got ignored. And yeah, there's never any repercussions for anybody in Idaho. They
There
could
were
be the
what?
butt chugging champion one year, and then they get away with everything else the next.
Well, no, it's not all. You can't loop all of Idaho into that because
No, it's not the
I
whole
think it's
state.
just Latah County because they've gotten away with it for so long.
Well, then why was there so much bias when you got to Ada County? I mean,
Because they all watch.
Because it's a police. It's a red county, so they're all going to be for prosecution anyway. They're
I've-
pro police,
I've
so
heard that more than once too.
they would never imagine that the police would lie.
Yeah, but they go over the line and show clear bias as a judge in a courtroom just because of their red county. I don't think so.
Well, I can't even figure out how Hitler even got on that damn case to begin with.
He voted himself in. They did a little draw of the straws between 6 other judges, and he picked himself. And he had
Didn't
no
he have something to
experience
do
in
with that
DP
dude,
case
Tomboy?
at all.
Yeah, I believe because he sits on that board that he like volunteered himself.
Exactly.
And that does happen. That does happen, Avi. We've seen that happen multiple times. This situation is weird. This situation is very weird. I mean, I'm not saying it's weird to the point that it's surprising, but I'm saying it's there's different things at play here. Very strange things at play here that I've never seen anywhere
what's really
before.
weird that keeps popping in my mind hole is the obvious cover up by the frat, the obvious connection with the university way up, somehow beyond the university, maybe some type of outside gang or something like this. And then we hear the 227 audio and we see, BLOD at the Whites, you know what I mean? And it's just like, what the, it's like you can't, it's what tells me it's a psyop because it's some kind of psychological operation because you can't get one corner to fit in the other corner. It's like you're solving different puzzles by putting the corners together. You know what I mean? You start with the corners and then you put the puzzle together in between. It's like when they meet in between, the pieces don't fit because they're different cases or different puzzles,
Because they're trying to put a full size bed sheet on a king size bed, and you know how that's going to work. The corners are never going to stay. Okay, it's obvious, folks. It's obvious what's going on.
Hey,
Truly and honestly.
Where you live now, is it? Because is like the whole state of the area that you live in, the people, all that kind of stuff. Is it different than when you lived in Idaho?
I live in Texas now. Everything's fucking different down here.
Yeah, but still, are there things that you notice that's like, wow?
No, I'm being honest when I tell you Texas, it's like it's a whole different country.
Oh, I was born in Texas, so yeah, I get it. But
I've heard that my whole life about Texas.
Texas can be a lot of fun. Just don't mess with law enforcement there. I'll tell you that.
Well, I think that's the way it is in any state. Don't do anything to break the law.
Well, Florida and Texas stand aside though in their own little world. Believe me.
I don't know.
Yeah, don't break the law anywhere, of course.
That's the way it should be.
Right.
Texas ain't no joke though. They handle things the way that things should be
they have
handled
a
in every
long,
state.
proud tradition in Texas, apparently.
Texans do not fucking care.
Well, they govern themselves, right?
Honestly, though, it should be like that in every state. If you look at it, it's a joke everywhere else. So,
well, you have blue cities
everybody
now, like
has a
Austin,
sign in their
which are
yard that
falling
says
apart.
"Fuck around and find out."
yeah, that's true.
I have one.
Surprise. So, anyway, moving on. All of these things are what they are. I mean, and that's why we're in the position we're in with this, you guys. Truly and honestly. We went back yesterday, and I proved by watching 2 hearing videos, just 2. I showed one with John Judge, and I showed the other one with Hitler. The evident corruption that is going on within this. And again, it also explains to me why John Judge walked away from this, in my opinion. He could have followed, like I said yesterday, he could have followed the case to Ada County. He chose not to. And I think it's because he saw what was going on and didn't want involved in it. Truly and honestly, that's
He
how I
straight
think.
retired, Dago, and he gave up his senior, whatever it was, judgeship to do that retirement. So he wanted to get the F out of there as fast as he can. He didn't care what he left behind, you know?
I mean,
Complete
Kisme just said, I
abandonment.
think he was scared. I wouldn't doubt that, judge or no judge. To see the things that were going on.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that was above his pay scale
Very possible.
for a Latah County judge, sure.
And remember something. When Hitler came on board as the big tough guy that he is, and everything's going to be this way and that way, and we're going to be completely transparent, and everything's going to get unsealed. And I think Hitler saw something and scared the shit out of him, or flipped him out in one way or another. It may have threatened him somehow, and he decided, nope, we're sealing it all. Because that's what he did.
Yes, sir.
Well, somebody's bullying these people not
Well, something I think the reason why people are quiet, as we've seen physically, is because I don't want to say it's a fear, but it is a fear. As long as they mind their business,
it's literally a known.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It's just an automatic. You keep your mouth shut, you mind your business, and you'll be fine. If not, you could have problems. That's the way I see it
Oh,
happen.
you're going to have problems. You open your mouth in this case, and you got problems.
Well, again, we physically have seen it with people that we're close to. When Rory went there, walked into the corner club,
Intimidation.
and was thrown out, physically thrown out, and said, "If you fucking come back here, you're gonna have problems. We know why you're here. Get the fuck out." End of story. The
he
man
should have voided for $10 back on the drink.
I would have. They dumped his drink out and told him to get the fuck out. He wasn't bothering nobody. He was sitting on the back patio talking to us on a live stream. You're going to tell me that there's not something up there, and you got a guy peeking over the fence, like Wilson from Home Improvement, doing one of these deals and pointing at him like, "Hey," like right there. And the kid that was doing it was one of the football players from U of I, whose name was thrown in the middle at one point. So explain to me why that stuff happens.
I would love to know what Hayden Young found out or knew.
You'd love to know what?
Who?
Hayden Young. Is that his name?
Hayden Young.
Hayden Young. Yeah.
He knew a lot. Because the people he knew told a whole story about the drugs being sold through and by the fraternities, which is where I think the fraternities know. Like I said, I don't think, and that people differ in opinion with me, I don't think the fraternities are the ones that committed the murders. But I absolutely believe 1,001% that they have absolute guilty knowledge of who did and how and why it happened. That's exactly my thoughts on that, which is why they don't talk.
Also, hey, Mama D, what's up? You got to think beyond that. Is it when you have a WSU fraternity that has a printing press, okay, you've got things to hide because that's next level of taking care of cotton candy. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you're just a beginner. When you get that printing press where you're adding the FETYNL stuff into it, then you're serious level. And that's what wasn't Steve Jr. was involved in that frat that had the printing press over at WSU. And so you have things to hide at that level, and then you have Steve's brother who was convicted of unaliving associated with that racist gang, so to speak, that was, but here he's casting the shadow. Oh, you're this and that. You're a scumbag because you lived with your parents. Well, when he was at the sales, well, your daughter lived with you part of the time when she was at school, so what's the difference there? And what's the difference in Paul? I believe that's his brother's name, getting convicted and him getting convicted. You know what I mean? It's like all of a sudden everybody's an outsider, and that makes them guilty. That makes them worse than anybody else.
Well, that's what they want. They want outsiders to be guilty. None of their people are.
No, everybody in Moscow is nice. There's a lot of nice people in Moscow.
Yeah.
Back to your fields, comrades.
Yeah. Anyway, right. I mean, it is what it is, you guys. You can't doubt it. I mean, and yes, there's some weird things that have gone on. The Hudson Lindau situation, the Caden Young situation, all of that.
Well, now that
Okay?
we know where Ethan's apartment was, also look at the Hayden Villa with the sign stealing and all that weirdness. And then he's like allegedly got a black eye right after it. All kinds of high weirdness
That
happening
wasn't there when
around
he
that
was standing in the grub
76.
truck. Yeah, he has bruising on his face that he didn't have when he was standing at that grub truck.
I'm telling
Yeah.
you, they put signs to say, detour, go someplace, go road closed. Because I read that somewhere too, that those were the signs.
Oh,
And
really? So may have been a purpose behind stealing them.
yes, to keep
Interesting.
people out
That's a
from
good
that
point,
area.
Terry.
What?
That's a good point, Terry. I that one eluded me. That's really good.
Yeah, that's my thought. Is that they stole those signs so they could put them around, and so people would not go in that area during that certain time.
No kidding.
Let me ask you guys a question because this is an interesting statement that I've even brought up a long time ago. And I'm not saying this because, again, I'm not ready to throw Ann Taylor under the bus. Okay. I'm just not. And I know other people do, and it's fine. I respect that. I get why you're doing it too. I just have my questions still. That's all I'm saying as far as she's concerned. But how do you think this would have turned out? And I'm just curious what everybody's thoughts are. How do you think this would have turned out if Brian Koberger would have had an attorney such as somebody like Alan Jackson that was, and I know a lot of people have already said it wouldn't be here, but think deep about this too. Think long and hard and deeply about this question. If Brian would have had a separate attorney that was not from this area, from out of state per se, that was death penalty certified, all that fun stuff, okay? Where do you think we'd be sitting right now if that was the case?
I think it
And
would
think
depend
on
on
it.
the
Don't just jump on it like and say, well, it's Ann's fault. He wouldn't be in prison. Think for a little bit on it before you answer it.
I
Go
think
ahead.
you would need an attorney that is not intimidated, first of all. If they're going to be coming in from outside the Moscow area, I mean, they've got to be strong and be able to stand up against all the crap that goes down there.
Right, and I know that it has to be somebody that's death penalty certified for the state of Idaho. I get it. I'm just saying what if, okay, if it was possible.
Here's the thing, Dago. I've climbed this tree many a times on the show. Is first of all, you have what's very telling. Once again, everything you need to know about this case is not a single one of the attorneys in Idaho was hungry enough or had the desire for publicity enough to even touch this case. Now, when you get to talking about lawyers outside of Idaho, you have the bar, which has to approve them being a lawyer in Idaho. And guess who sits atop that bar in Idaho? Bill Nye, the lawyer guy. And he ain't going to let nobody through. We know that. And so I think that overall, what feedback we've gotten from another channel I watch is that most of the attorneys outside of Idaho felt that he was guilty, and so
Yeah, quite a few did.
And so maybe that had a part to do with it, but I don't think they would ever let anybody in to do it because that's what's so weird. When you have a high profile case, you have people falling all over each other, tearing each other limb to limb to be the one to represent them. And for some reason in this case, it was quiet as crickets.
Mm-hmm. I agree. In fact,
Here's what my thought is. Go ahead, Terry.
My thought was they didn't even want to be there. I mean, let's look at all the people that left the area that were in police and judges and all of. I mean, they're not even there anymore. They jumped ship.
What I think would have happened was the exact same thing that happened already. Here's why I think it too, and I'll tell you why. It has nothing to do with the attorney. At the very most, I agree with partially with what was said here. They would have ran him out that attorney one way or another. They would have either ran the attorney out of town, shut him down somehow. Okay. One way or another, this was always going to be Brian Koberger, and Bill Thompson was always going to get this prosecution done. End of story. They were going to prosecute Brian Koberger, no matter who the attorney was, no matter who the judge was, no matter what the scenario was. Brian Koberger was the one that was going down. End of story. That's how I see this. And I can't see it any other way because of everything else we've seen. It's the whole kit and caboodle, folks. It was not going to change it. It wasn't going to go any other direction than the direction it went. It was never going to go to trial, in my opinion. I've told you that. This guy would have had, or whoever the attorney would have been, in some form, they would have either intimidated this person, I think, or they'd have done something, but this was still going to happen no matter what. That's my opinion. If I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'll eat every bit of crow you throw at me if you can prove me wrong, but I truly think that's exactly what would happen. The same thing that's happened. Nothing less.
I 100% agree.
Yeah, that's just another known in this case. It's just don't even bother.
You heard
it's going to go.
Right. You heard what Jeff Nye said. Go ahead and let him appeal. It's going to go through my office. I'm going to kick it right back. They're not going to let nothing happen. We know this already in the back of our minds, no matter what. Unless some kind of a superhero comes forward and has every bit of this on fucking video or something stupid like that and says, here, look. That's the only out that we have with this, folks. Think about it. It is what it is. But I'm still not going to shut up about the absolute corrupted investigation or their lack of that happened and the people involved in it, because they need exposed every single day until somebody shuts them down. Period. Like I said,
top to bottom. It's literally top to bottom.
Right.
What do you think? Okay, I've got a question. Do you think that this was done by somebody that was hired out so that alibis of the other people were okay? Or do you think, experts that came in and did the killing? Or do you think that, or do you think that it was like, I know you don't think it was fraternities, and I don't either, but do you think it was other kids? Do you think it was just, what do you think? And do you think it was over drugs?
I'll tell you what you can
Yes,
probably
ma'am.
do is reverse everything they told us in the beginning, that there was no love triangle, that there were no rugs involved, this and that, all those things that they came out and said, all the people that they cleared way too early. Those are the people involved, and those are the factors of the case.
That's a pretty good point. Yeah, I think that I definitely think that Nick Malwich is involved in it. I definitely think that Janelle Braun is involved in it. Which, if it goes along with Pop's theories. Are you? Oh yeah, I'm sorry, I completely forgot. Sweet Pea, I'm sorry, hon. I had you muted and forgot. Can you talk? Oh, wait a minute. Did I unmute?
Still muted.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I'm here.
Go ahead. I'm so sorry. I forgot.
Sorry, Sweet Pea.
Oh no, it's okay.
What are your thoughts? Thank you for reminding me, Tomboy.
We have covered so many topics since then. I'm like, where did we leave off? Basically,
all out there.
About the lawyer, about the attorney thing. Like, if he was to get another attorney, no, I don't think it would have changed anything, because if Hippler was going to be the judge, he was, no matter what, going to deny all these pretrial motions. There was none of the things that needed to be approved to go through the trial were ever going to come out. Just like Dago said, this was all planned to happen this way.
I fully agree with you on that one. I'm so sorry I left you muted like that. I just completely forgot.
Oh no, you're fine.
Are you standing outside?
Me?
Yeah.
No. Do you hear? Is it like, am I getting feedback?
It might be your
around there a little bit.
It might just be like a fan or something, is what I was hearing.
Yeah, I'll fix that. But yeah, I don't think there was anything else really.
It's okay. You're good. It's not bad now. You're good now. Anyway,
well, do you think they could have brought in a lawyer from outside, reasonably? Somehow, doesn't it seem odd to you that
if they could have found one that was Idaho certified, because he had to be certified death penalty in the state of Idaho? Well, what are the odds?
Well, that's for the public defender. Now, anybody that that is that has passed the bar could have represented him as a lawyer.
Yeah, but you still have to be death penalty certified in the
Isn't
state of
that just
Idaho.
for that's just for the public defender? But if it's a
No,
private
that's for the
lawyer,
defendant. The defendant himself has to be, or the defendant. Okay, hold on. The defendant's attorney has to be death penalty certified because it was a capital case in the state of Idaho, from my understanding.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure you're right.
I mean,
I'm
I agree
coming.
with that as
I'm
far
coming.
as
The
as
attorney?
far as what they applied to what the state provides, but I don't know
No.
necessarily that's going to because how else would people get certified in DP cases unless they can take a DP case? I mean, I don't understand.
You have to
Okay.
get
they
extra
block that.
schooling and stuff for it, I think.
In Idaho, there's only like 8 or 10 death penalty certified attorneys because it is a long process. But you have to go through the process in order to represent a client that is
Right.
charged with the death penalty.
It's I don't know if I don't want to say extra schooling, but you have to get like
It
certification.
takes
from
2 to
the
3
state.
years
Well,
to
I
get
mean,
death
okay,
penalty
so say
certified.
the lawyer that steps up is DP certified in another state. Well,
Nope. It has to be Idaho.
well,
Right. Yeah, it has to be in that
see,
state.
that's a
That we
wild
found out.
rule.
Yeah.
There's an exclusionary rule right there. You know, that's keeping people from out of the state being involved in Idaho politics.
See, I don't think so. I think
jurisprudence.
it takes a certain special attorney to take on a client that is
The
being
plea
charged
deal,
with the
like they
death
did with
penalty.
Skylar Mead and they did with everybody else. Anybody could do that. I could take a plea deal for a client. You know what
Well,
I mean?
sure. I mean, but that's just we have it here in Ohio too. I think it's nationwide. You have to be certified in that state to cover a capital case. It's pretty wild stuff. I never heard of it until this case either. But I thought an attorney's an attorney. If they're a defense attorney, they can cover a case regardless, and I was completely wrong.
They can, but as long as the client is charged with the death penalty, you have to be death penalty certified in that state.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I mean.
So if he had just been charged with 4 counts of whatever and not have the death penalty hanging over there, then yeah, anybody could have represented him.
Right. We did this. We covered this like Jesus. I
Right,
think
but
3
they
years
would have
ago.
had to sit second chair. Your main attorney still has to be from the state.
Right, and I think that on his team, Ann was death penalty certified. I think Eliza was death penalty certified. Bicca wasn't. She became an attorney after the fact because she was just an expert to begin with, DNA.
No, Bicca's always been an attorney.
I mean, on the case. She didn't start off on the case as an attorney. She came on as an expert and then became
correct.
an attorney on the case, is what I'm trying to say. I'm sorry.
I don't think Eliza Massoff is death penalty certified either. I think she's just an appellate attorney as well.
I think you're right, Tom Boy. I think she was
Well,
getting
those
trained.
those are 2 big giant hurdles that Idaho has put into place. You have to admit, as far as keeping their state exclusionary and keeping other people out, man.
And the judge too, Bo. I don't know if you knew that, but the judge has to be certified death penalty as well.
See, that's the thing. How does Hitler go from doing medical lawsuits from one minute to the next minute that he's in charge of this DP case?
It's just I guess maybe what he did when he was an attorney, possibly.
No, he was civil.
Yeah, that's what I thought.
He was medical malpractice.
Yeah, but he had to. I thought.
Thank you, Lucy. I didn't know. I wasn't sure.
What Diego was saying is that when he was a regular attorney before he was a judge, that he was
DP certified somehow. I don't know how, but I think you have to be the judge over a death penalty case.
That would be weird if the judge isn't required, but the lawyer is. That would be really weird.
It would be odd. I fully agree. Which in turn makes it even worse for me to watch him do what he did as a judge in this case.
I mean, if at the very least it was completely unprofessional, at the very worst, it was very.
Why has nobody
biased.
filed judicial misconduct against him for this? That's what I want to know, because the things he said and did are so far out of play, so far out of line. I want to know why.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, people want to turn on Anne after the Turvey Muppet incident and
Exactly.
Muppet number 2 over there. But she knew how to tame the lions. Like, don't poke the bear. You're either going to win this argument or you're going to lose it. And, history will tell the story. I think that in law schools across the country, they must be studying this case wholeheartedly, because I mean it has all the trimmings of corruption,
I
with all
wish.
these redactions just hiding stuff.
I wish I could sit down and talk to Brian's mom and dad and just have a nice, quiet conversation and explain to them, if they don't know already, or his sisters for that matter, any of them. Do you realize that you can do this, this, and this, and that, and this, and it could possibly make a change here? They could be filing complaints about Hitler in behalf of Brian, or talk to Brian to have him do it. You know what I'm saying? I mean, these people, somebody needs to explain. Everything we've seen is so far out of read, guys. It's so bad. It is so bad. And nobody's saying or doing anything. Nobody. And
That's
again,
my thing. Why is everybody so silent?
well,
Even the church was
that's a
silent.
huge question, you guys. That makes you wonder why they're so silent. Makes you wonder why. There's got to be a reason for everything, like I always say. And like I said, I could be completely wrong on how I feel about this, but from what I've looked into, the things I've tried to read, the things I've learned, I think that that's how that could work. If he goes and says, "Hey, this is wrong, that was wrong, this shouldn't have happened. Look at this, look at that. This is a problem, that's a problem." He should be able to go back and get an actual trial.
I agree.
Honestly, here's what I would do if I were him. Okay, I would explain, even though it's on record, that he understood everything, that everything was being fairly done to him, so on and so forth. As much as it sounds ignorant to say, I would absolutely roll on my defense attorney and say, she screwed me. I don't know what she was saying. I didn't understand it due to my, my diagnosis or something like that. And I would roll this over for an appeal. Whether it would be approved or not, I don't know. But that's what I
That's
would
a good
do.
question that Ann Cummins man has. What lawyer would he bring in to defend if he turns on Ann? Who are you going to bring in now?
He could hire Eliza if she would take it on. He could bring her on as a lead attorney.
Do you think Eliza would do that to Anne though? 'Cause Anne's
I don't know. That's what I'm saying. If she would take it, she seemed to like Brian. They seemed like they had a pretty strong
If you care
relationship.
about
And
justice, you would.
that's bingo's. That's the answer right there. If you truly believe in what you do as a
Who cares
defense
about what
attorney,
Annie wants? Yeah.
right? And maybe that was her ploy all the time. We don't know, you guys. What if that's what Ann has been doing the whole time, is to make it look like she didn't do a good job, so that he could do that at some point? Although I think he would have done it by now. You know what I mean? I'm just saying. Just saying.
I mean, you have to admit though, at this point, his options seem very, very limited.
They don't seem. They are very limited
at best. And
I just
where do we go from here? It's Mike, his father, did say at one point that something was coming. And Twiz kind of rested his laurels.
He did,
hoping for that to come, but it doesn't seem like anything ever manifested.
I think we all did. And Willie put that out after a certain conversation that he had. It was stated in the Patterson book about things that were absolutely wrong that he knew about. I mean, it is what it is. But here's the biggest thing. Once again, if somebody threatens you and or your family and says to you, you either do it this way or there's not going to be another way. And they threaten your family, your life, your children, and that includes the defense attorney, folks. I didn't even realize until about 2 months ago that Ann Taylor had 4 daughters, and that kind of flipped a little switch in my mind. I understand she's a defense attorney and she's probably been threatened millions of times. But if you know a very strong, influential organization is surrounding this possibly, and somebody were to come to you very quietly and says, you either go this way with this, or you unfortunately could have the same thing happen to your children.
Oh yeah, 4 daughters definitely is a weakness. I mean,
Exactly. So,
anything could happen to you or
yep,
them at any given
yes,
time, and you don't want to even dip your toes
Just
and
to
we
in those
infer that
waters.
something would happen to any of her girls would be, I mean, just to infer it, you know what I mean? Like,
thank
just
you,
to be like,
thank
I
you,
know you have 4 daughters, just saying.
and I
It's not
agree.
right
I
to do
agree.
that, though.
Here's the thing, and this has to be understood. I agree. When you become that position in life, when you take that job as a defense attorney, it's part of the job, folks. It's just like saying,
Yeah.
when you become a firefighter, oh well, you could get burnt or get smoke inhalation.
Right.
Oh, probably not. I've had both happen to me. Okay, it's part of the job. You take that on as you do it. It is what it is. You may see dead people. Well, guess what? You do. Just say it. So it's the same thing. It's the same inference. The problem is that most of the time that doesn't happen as often as something this serious, and nobody knows how they're gonna react when that happens until it happens, and then you have to see what's going on. Hold on a minute.
Vicious terrier back there.
Terry,
Terry, I think you're muted. Was she talking?
I just muted her because she keeps barking.
Oh, it's okay.
And I'll unmute you in a minute, Terry. As soon as, but when that goes down, we don't know what happened. We don't know if something small could have happened that scared somebody. It doesn't have to be just words. You could get something in the mail that tells you something and makes you scared or something. Everybody can say, I would never falter to that. This is my job. I believe in justice, blah, blah, blah. Until it happens to you, you don't know what you're going to do. Again, we don't know that happened at all. All I'm saying is, with everything else we've seen in this case, it's very likely that things like that could happen. There were statements made that people were, Jesus Christ, the victims' families were getting threats in court. We saw the text messages come through on Christie's phone. There's creepy, weird ass people out there it could be just nobody trolling people. It is what it is. But
But
do
I
you
mean,
want to take the chance of testing that?
yeah, I think or it could just be something as simple as, I mean, what we saw, that she was bullied. We saw it over and over again. I mean, there was just no way that but to make your client take a plea is where I have.
Well, no, don't. Hold on how you say it. She didn't make him do it. It was his choice
Oh,
completely.
she had, yes, it was his
Right,
choice. You are
right.
correct. What I would like to know, obviously, is what was his train of thought. And Turby says that he knows all that and he wouldn't tell us, and that's when I got aggravated.
That's what pisses me off about people like Dr. Turby. I'm not saying that he's wrong, and I'm not starting a Turby conversation either. I'm just saying.
No,
I'm just saying.
But that part,
I'm not. I
like,
won't be listening to anybody that comes forward, Sweet Pea, anymore with information unless you're going to show receipts with it. Other than that, don't even bring it to me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, because we're not going to be a pawn in your whatever you're doing, because you're not. This is going to be we're trying to be on your side, but you got to give us something.
Yes. Thank you, Frankie. Again, very much appreciated. BK's family needs to reach out to Catherine Zellner. She has previous experience with death penalty cases, but someone has to reach out to her. Well, and that's the problem, is it can't be anybody but him or his family to get him to do it. It has to be all him. I keep saying this every day. Brian has to be the one to make the overall decision no matter what. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate you very much, Frankie. And if Brian chooses, like I said, the outcome of this could very likely, as much as we don't want to hear it, is this. This could be it right here, that the man's going to spend the rest of his life in prison and die there. Okay? And unfortunately, that could be his choice. For whatever reason he chose to do it, nobody knows. And that could be it. We don't know that. I know it doesn't look like it should be, and I know it doesn't look like it absolutely will be, but that could be the absolution of it all. And if it is, it's very sad, I know. And it's a really shitty thing considering what we know, but
Dago, here's
you gonna
what's taking
do?
a zag for Zap out there to take a little twist back in time. Let's look at the second press conference with the independent reporter that wasn't supposed to be here, that pissed off Chief Fry by asking whether or not a female
could have committed this crime. And then weeks or months later, turns up unalived in a one-car accident.
Yeah, I remember. The same type of an accident that Nick Mowich was in, too. Interesting. I mean, not same type, but the same situation, from my understanding.
And oddly enough, she has the same name as a reporter that suffered the same fate in the O.J. Simpson trial. Thank you, Operation GCD.
What do you mean?
The same exact name as a reporter that lost her life in the O.J. Simpson trial back in the 90s, had the same name and passed away in the same manner. Believe it or not.
The TikTok woman that was portraying herself as a reporter has the same name as somebody in the OJ case? Really?
That suffered the same fate, dude.
That's
a single
absolute
car accident. I mean, you want to talk about psyops and central casting repeating the script, dude. There you go.
That is beyond insane. If you honest and true, that's crazy.
Yeah, thank you, Operation GCD, for that fact.
Oh, that come from JJ?
Yes, sir.
Of course. The man always has information. Interesting. I never heard of that. That's crazy. That is crazy, crazy. Anyway, so through all that, again, these are conversations we have regularly. I can't remember her name, Potty. What the hell was her name? Was it Jennifer something?
Her name. JJ probably knows it.
I thought it was Jen something. Or Jennifer, maybe. I'm probably way off.
Wasn't she a great big old fat person?
I mean, I don't know. I don't know. I don't judge people like that.
Right.
What the hell was her name? Oh yeah, he stepped in Moonflower in the beginning and made some statements, which I thought was kind of wild. Mark Furman,
Mark Furman, yeah, and he passed away recently.
Yeah, that was a bit wild to see him make statements in this. It was weird. The whole case is strange.
That was the precursor to Dog the Bounty Hunter coming in. I was waiting for that shoe to drop.
I agree. Destiny Martin. Thank you, Lucy. Of course you would know. That's her name.
You, Lucy. Yes,
ma'am. Destiny Martin. Yeah,
Lucy got the facts.
It was okay. I will say this much about Miss Destiny Martin. Okay, she was very out there in front, raised her hand, and she asked the two questions that you could tell completely flushed Fry out. He's like I said, I always called him a mood ring because the dude's emotions were right on his face. You asked him a question that he didn't like, he turned purple immediately. He's like Bill Thompson. But yeah, she said, "Is it possible that a woman could have committed this crime?" And he stuttered through that one. And then, have you looked into ROTC? He stuttered through that as well. Both amazing questions. Probably two of the best questions asked throughout the whole thing.
ROTC is the one that strikes out as probably being the most relevant. And
considering, yeah.
Well, I mean, it looks as though you have Detective Payne or whatever now running the operations of ROTC over at WSU, not confirmed.
Where did that come from?
That's what we've been hearing.
That Payne's running ROTC over at Wazoo?
Yeah, and there was a big shakeup at University of Idaho with the ROTC program, where Scott Green again had to reach out to his friend Pete Hegseth over in Trump's camp to get them from removing the ROTC program that was so important to the University of Idaho from their curriculum and moving it over to WSU. So Pete Hegseth steps in, and he not only gets the ROTC reinstated at University of Idaho, but also gets them a brand new building. And then on top of it, they behind the back of all the legislatures and the governor himself, establish a Kuwaiti training base for the next 10 years, starting in 2027, without anybody's knowledge, over at the Air Force Base. I forgot the name, Wright-Patterson.
That's out here with
one
us.
in Idaho.
Oh, Ohio's Wright-Patterson, yeah. Ohio,
Yeah,
Wright-Patterson is up in Dayton. I don't know. Wright-Patterson is in Dayton, Ohio, here where I'm at.
Yeah,
I don't know what
the Idaho version of that.
Oh, okay.
What was what's his face? not Maddie Mogan, but Matt. What was he saying?
At Moyer.
Yeah, what was he saying that he left at 3 a.m. and they went where?
He was going to ROTC training.
Oh, I thought he was going to work.
No,
And
they
then
do.
The ROTC training, they
Somebody
did like
looking at
running.
B-dubs,
They
I
ran
thought,
like
and they
miles
started
and
at like
stuff.
4 in the morning or something.
When you go into military early enlistment, you do what they call civilian training drills. When I was going to enlist in the Marine Corps before I messed my knee up real bad, I tried to enlist in high school, and they would pull us out of school, and we would run the streets and do training drills with Marines and all that other shit. They have pre-enlistment. I don't know. He was in a different version of that, but they did drilling and all sorts of crazy stuff because he was military based, and which is interesting to me. Because he was ROTC, he was involved, he had access to things and people and knowledge of things. So I was very interested in him, being that he was so close, and he wasn't a fan of that house either. So I've always been interested in him. I think Lana has brought some more interest to him recently as well. So
yeah, well, when she said, his brother Simon said that he heard a dog barking, and he didn't even get up to look out the window, but
he has a dog himself too, though.
Yeah, but it wasn't his dog. And he said that his room, he said his brother, who was on the other side of the hallway, heard it too. Or he was at like 3:30, and then the guy Matt comes on and says, I wasn't even here.
You want to lay down, Rob?
It's just weird.
Yeah, and then like Jen just said, he was supposed to meet up at Buffalo Wild Wings. Lana called them. They said they'd never any such meeting that ever happened.
Really?
So that's another interesting point. Also, I can't remember if it was him or his brother, but after this happened, one of them or both of them took off to like Bali or some shit. They were out of the country for quite a while. Now, again, that doesn't mean they did something. It just means that's an interesting thing to happen right after something like this goes down, is all I'm saying.
It also was interesting that they asked, I can't remember which one asked, I think it was Simon, that asked the police officer, well, should we be worried? We have Maddie. Our sister's name is Maddie. What if they got something? And I think what he was alluding to is, did they take out the wrong Maddie?
And Maddie didn't. Maddie also, his sister also had an issue with one of them too. So that was another point that got brought out. And yeah, I know what you're saying. Did they take out the wrong Maddie? I remember.
Over a guy.
Yeah, right. Of course. And again, but that in turn would still have to mean that it was involving the kids and or the fraternities and sororities. And I'm still, again, I believe they could very well have guilty knowledge, and I'm pretty sure they do. But as far as the ones that committed the crime, I don't believe it was any of them. It couldn't be. It could be. Don't get me wrong. I don't think it is. Hi, my boys. Welcome.
You'd have to be you practically would have to be a sociopath to be able to do this.
And that's not that far out of the realm, Terry. You could be. I've seen 10, 12-year-old sociopaths that could do something like this. It's whether or not they physically could. You know what I'm saying? But this is something, in my opinion, like I said yesterday, the person or the people, I should say, I'm gonna clarify me saying that regularly. The people that committed this crime are criminal. They're criminal, meaning they have criminal backgrounds. They've done criminal things in their past. This is not just some brand new somebody decided to be a pissed off college kid and they're going to kill people thing. There's no way. No way. Somebody.
What do you think about it? Like so if it goes that way, then how do you figure that it was personal too? Because with the knife,
that's exactly right, Sweet Pea. That's the four corners of the puzzle again coming together. Is like you have the 227 audio. You have all this cover up with the fraternity erasing their internet history going back 2 years. Why do you do that? And then in the middle you have what looks like a professionally carried out thing that has the world to this day stumped.
I still think it's professionally done. I think it was a
I think it was semi-professionally done. Yes, I agree with that. I don't think it was. I think I showed you guys the video of the group that I think was responsible for this.
You think
I
it?
showed you. I showed you guys. There was a group takedown in March. I think it was February in Washington of the Jesse James Bailey group that was taken down with a huge bus. I know I showed you guys, and that
Yeah,
group
I remember that.
that group consists of the Aryan Brotherhood and Bailey and the Sinaloa cartel. That's a combination of them, okay? Which is a very strange thing, but it's been proven that that's who was running together at that point. And that bust happened not
Can
too
you
long
share
after.
that picture with us again, Jage or Dago?
Yeah, hold on a minute.
But
Give
don't
me 1
forget
minute.
that Quinn dated Dylan, and even though I don't think Quinn was there, but his dad's like a major kingpin. I think he's in jail, isn't he still?
He's
And
in
if
prison, yeah. Well, the
yeah.
thing about Dylan and Quinn is she's the one roommate that is dating someone that's not a student at University of Idaho.
Well, and he has a connection, so to
That's
And
this
he's
my
straight
point.
gangster wannabe kid, right? Exactly,
well, he has
taking
a
after his
connection to
dad
that road. Yeah,
or his
so I mean,
stepdad or
that's,
whatever.
You can
yeah,
be
so
in
I mean,
jail and hire
because
a
it
hit.
has to connect back to the house. That's the whole thing. Like, how does the so then you have these people? How does it connect back to the house then?
Dylan.
Right, because I mean, yeah, it would seem so, unless I mean, because she's the only one that would have that we know of that has a connection to that type of that realm.
And they could have been, you know, she could have been.
But then why did Dylan live, and why are these kids dead?
Well, if it was Quinn and his dad's gang, whatever, up in aren't they in Boise? They could have hired a hit, and his dad could have done it
It's
from
all
prison.
about who you know and who you're affiliated with, in my
Right,
opinion.
and
And I know some people don't believe that, but
Dylan could have orchestrated a lot of this and said, "Don't kill, you know, Bethany." Just, you know, this.
let me show you a couple videos here to remind you if you haven't seen this. This is kind of important, and this is kind of the what iced my opinion for me based on things Pav put out. And then I knew this, and I referenced back to this, and it just kind of cleared everything up for me. So hold on, I'll show you this.
And these kids knew most of the kids. So if Kaylee really did say there's somebody in the house, there was always people coming in and out of the house. So
All right, here
she
we
didn't
go.
know the person that was there.
I don't believe a word
In
she
Washington
says.
and Arizona, 27 people now indicted after a long investigation into connection and a massive amount of drugs, guns, and money seized in a multi-state bust in Washington and Arizona. 27 people now indicted after a long investigation into connections between a white supremacist prison gang and Mexican cartels. Correspondent Nancy Liu is live. Nancy, this drug trafficking ring was under investigation for 2 years.
That's right, Nicole. It's quite a big bust. A blitz of arrests began over a week ago with 24 people taken into custody, and the search is on for 3 more. It follows an extensive investigation which uncovered what may be a growing partnership between the powerful Sinaloa cartel and a white supremacist prison gang known as the Aryan family.
Officers seized an incredible amount of illegal drugs.
The haul included nearly 2 million doses of fentanyl, enough to kill everyone in Seattle and Tacoma, along with 500,000 more. These are most of the 27 indicted, with alleged links to the Aryan family prison gang and Sinaloa cartel. They are arrested in Washington and Arizona after a sweep by federal and local law enforcement. Many of the defendants had already served time within the Washington correctional system, which is where the plotting allegedly started.
It was during those prison sentences that many of these defendants became connected with each other through their involvement in the Aryan family prison gang and other gangs, all under the umbrella of white power and white supremacy.
The alleged leader is 39-year-old Jesse James Bailey of Steilacoom, Washington. He's accused of being a principal organizer, establishing ties between the Aryan family and the Sinaloa cartel in order to distribute drugs throughout much of Washington state and Arizona. There are also links to Alaska and Nevada. During the operation, agents secretly seized drugs and equipment, leading to some reassurance about the integrity of their investigation.
The wiretap revealed that these gangsters believed that they were robbed by other people and did not know they were being surveilled by law enforcement. They even had the audacity to report some of these seizures as thefts to law enforcement.
The operation also hauled in more than 200 firearms, most of them AR-style weapons, which authorities say were bound for Mexico in exchange for drugs. Greed and power are apparently driving more collaboration between white supremacists and cartels.
These criminal relationships are ruthless, calculating, and they do not care who they harm.
Now, the Washington DOC confirms to News Nation that the wife of Jesse James Bailey is among those arrested in the sweep. Candace Bailey.
And here's your connection right here. She's gonna explain it to you right now.
Bailey is a former corrections officer who resigned as authorities investigated her links to an inmate and the Aryan family. Nicole?
Oh, wow. Yes, certainly an interesting case here, Nancy. Okay, thank you. Thank you for watching. Go to News.
So there's that one.
That
then,
that's scary. That almost sounds exactly like what could have happened.
well, this
They
is
thought
why.
they were being robbed.
Here, let me
and they
show
were
you
making
one.
Let
me show you another one here.
I like the word orchestrated
Mm-hmm.
Local, state,
because that's
and
what it took to get this done.
gathered in
Somebody had to
Tacoma this
orchestrate
morning
this.
to announce a major victory.
I'm extremely proud to say thank you to our state, federal partners. We needed this, and we appreciate our partnership with you.
I want you guys to remember something real important when it comes to these. What I'm showing you here again. Remember something huge. The task force was on the ground in Moscow, in Washington, in these areas during when the murders happened. Remember that, okay? The period of time that was, and when this was going on. Just remember that as we watch these.
Thank you.
Agents seized massive amounts of drugs, guns, and money last Wednesday in a multi-state takedown operation in Washington and Arizona.
Did you see that by chance? Look at this real quick. Look at all this. You know what that is? Fentanyl.
Fentanyl, fatty.
Fentanyl, Adderall, all of this, cocaine, everything. All of
And
this,
then all of a
okay?
sudden, and then Lana said it dried up. The blue dried up.
Yeah, it did. Gee, you got to wonder why.
Indicted 27 defendants.
U.S. Attorney Nick Brown says the operation was the result of months of investigation into a drug ring with connections to the Aryan family, a white supremacy group active in Washington state prisons. Brown called the operation significant.
Approximately 1.9 million doses of fentanyl and more than 230 pounds of methamphetamine.
Acting DEA Special Agent Jacob Galvin says that's enough fentanyl to kill everyone in Seattle and Tacoma and poison an additional 500,000 people. U.S. Attorney Brown said,
Let me remind you guys of one more thing. Remember who the prosecution brought in towards the end of the case? Josh Hurwitz. Remember who he was? They claimed he was brought in to handle the psychological aspect of the Brian Koberg, all that shit. That's bullshit. Look into who Josh Hurwitz truly was. Remember that.
he's not only concerned with the drugs coming from Mexico, but the guns that are going to Mexico. Brown says 225 firearms were seized throughout the course of this investigation. Robert Hammer of Homeland Security says many of those weapons could have made their way to Mexico.
Wait. Who? Hold on. Let's hear that one more time.
Mexico to land in the hands of cartels. Brown says that's unacceptable.
To see all these weapons.
Cartels. Brown to land in the hands of cartels. Of those weapons could have made their way to Mexico to land in the hands of cartels. Brown says Homeland Security says many of those. Robert Hammer of Homeland Security. Robert Hammer of Homeland Security says
Homeland Security. Remember that? Yeah.
many of those weapons could have made their way to Mexico to land in the hands of cartels. Brown says that's unacceptable.
To see all these weapons, as Special Agent Hammer said,
Of Homeland Security says 25 firearms were seized.
Yeah, look at all these mini vacuums, you guys. Look at all those.
Yeah, that's what I was just thinking. And then what the end? I mean, they use that like a knife? I mean, the gouges and stuff.
That
Those
they
aren't
could
just-
have, sure, but I can imagine at least one or two people holding one of these to keep people in order while they're trying to do what they're trying to do.
100%.
Course of this
That's why that
investigation,
stool was
Robert
sitting
Hammer
there.
of Homeland Security says many of those weapons could have made their way to Mexico to land in the hands of cartels. Brown says that's unacceptable.
to see all these weapons, as Special Agent Hammer said, go down to Mexico, where the cartels are engaged in daily violence and people are dying on a daily basis, and knowing that those weapons are principally coming from the United States of America is a significant problem that we have to address.
Tacoma Police Chief Avery Moore says this kind of collaboration with federal authorities is vital in combating crime.
Just because you can't see what's going on doesn't mean nothing's going on. We are constantly committed to our goal to make this city the safest in the country. And this is one step towards that.
That is quite a bust, Dago. Let me put in my 2 cents real quick before you play it anymore.
Yep.
Remember the fact that Snake River and that western coastline off of Washington is very lightly patrolled by the Coast Guard because it's so rugged. So what you have is a situation where you're the body that's bringing in the party favors. When you have another competing, say, cartel or organization that brings them in, you can do these pat on the back pressers like this and be like, look at the bust we made. Look how great we are. In the meantime, you're the one ushering through the big stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So
absolutely.
This looks to me like a little parade of look what we found. Yeah, thank you, Tomboy. Of what we found, don't look at what we do. 100%.
Right.
And you
Kinda
know the fact
interesting that it's Arizona too.
Yeah, I think Arizona definitely has a lot of connections here.
They're huge.
I mean,
Let me
it's
show you one more quick
whole
thing.
route.
Say that again, Terry.
What are you looking for, Bojo?
I believe it's a drug route that comes up.
It absolutely
from
is. It absolutely is.
Arizona, and Idaho is on
Absolutely.
its way.
Come back.
Right. It absolutely is 100. That whole area is a straight shot all the way through, Terry, for drugs. Oregon, all of it. It's all
It's a
the border
perfect little
states.
pivot point right there at Lewiston where the Snake River comes in.
And you got Canada
then
right there too as well. It's all the border states. It's perfect.
And then you have
So-
that Gulf, or whatever that shipping area over in Washington. You know, the
In
water.
Lewiston, yeah, that's what she's talking about. Is the port in Lewiston.
Yeah, I always call it the Aruba of the Northwest because that's the same thing. Aruba is right off the coast of Venezuela, Colombia, Bolivia, all those places where the marching soldiers come from. But you know, Idaho is that same distribution point, and it's like I said, heavily guarded, heavily protected all these years. And once you have that money coming in, you don't want it to stop. If that money train stops, then you go into a panic, and heads start to roll.
Yeah. Yep. Here we go.
Among those indicted was the group's leader, a man by the name of Jesse James Bailey, 39 years old, from Stillicum, Washington. Even more shocking, Jesse James Bailey's wife, a former Washington State prison guard, Candace Bailey, who was fired following an investigation into their relationship. The Aryan family has an estimated 200 members in Washington State prisons. And before last week's takedown, during that year-plus long investigation, law enforcement seized a total of.
And if you guys remember, I don't know what the hell Allie was talking about. She was talking out of her ass once again because she obviously doesn't know who I am or Tommy is. Talking about Tommy Jude, but this is how we met Tommy Jude. He brought this to the table when we first met him, talking about nothing but this stuff. Okay, when it was when him and Roy were talking, and that Roy was in the hotel room being all weird, mysterious, and stuff. That's how everybody met Tommy. So he was right, and that's where this comes into effect. At it back then, it was known to some aspect. So, Allie, whatever you're talking about, no, that wasn't true because Tommy and I were very close. So
Yeah,
you're
I don't
wrong
know.
once
That was a
again.
little off kilter right there for sure.
Yeah, she
I was
was
reading
way
that
off.
like, didn't we do the memorial for Tommy? I don't think so, pal.
Yeah, it was insane. She had no idea what she was talking about because him and I were very close. We talked about this many, many times, and whatever. You think what
Absolutely.
you want. It is what it is. Move on. Anyway, I'll let this.
How could you not like Tommy?
840,000 fentanyl pills, 5.5 pounds of fentanyl powder, 223 pounds of methamphetamine, 3.5 pounds of pure heroin, 5 pounds of cocaine, and almost $500,000 in cash. And
this wasn't even all of it. This was what they found on them at that when they busted them, you guys.
Well, notice that they said powder because they get that powder form
Right.
to the distributors, and then they have those pill presses to make them into something.
What they were doing too, they were making it. You can make anything into a pill these days because the presses and they look real, folks. It's scary.
Yeah, they look like the absolute.
They
name
have
brand
they make them exactly look the same with the right number on them, stamp and all. You can
and
buy
then they're
these,
laced with the FEL 10Y.
or they're 100% made out of that. Yeah, absolutely.
Right, and people are passing away left and right, and it's odd that they don't care about their customers because one thing people don't understand about gangs is gangs are the friendliest people you'll ever meet in your life. When you're going to buy something, they are the salesmen of the century. They will shoot pew each other just to get your business. And that's the thing that baffles me about the cartels is that they're unaliving their own customers. You know what I mean? It doesn't make no sense.
The thing is that they have so many customers that it doesn't matter. So
that's true. I mean, yeah, it's not the cartels that are propping up the cartels. It's the United States that are providing the funding to keep the cartels propped up. That's for damn sure.
Oh, they've worked with them in the past. I'll just put it that way.
So if these kids worked with this stuff, if these kids worked with this stuff, right? Like you said, the printing press or whatever. I mean,
not kids.
Okay.
The ones that were making this, not here. The ones that were making it in when I covered that other case I showed you guys.
At WSU, the fraternity where Steve Jr.
South Carolina
had a press one. Yeah, in the South Carolina big bust. Yes, thank you, sir.
That was 100% the universities, 3 of them working together. I think it was Duke, South Carolina, and Appalachia were all working together. They had a whole empire
directly
going.
linked to the cartels. Yes, sir.
Right, and they were getting their. They were
how they don't die from sniffing it
because they take precautionary measures to do different things. They wear gas masks and gloves and all sorts of stuff that you're supposed to do. That's how they made it successful, in my opinion. But all right, Tomboy. And anyway, let me show this to you guys real quick.
50 firearms. This is just another example of the strong tie between prison gangs, street gangs, and massive drug trafficking operations. It also came out in the indictment that the Aryan family, and in particular Jesse James Bailey, had a strong connection to the Sinaloa drug cartel.
I'm going to stop right there. Now, and I know it surprised me the first time I saw this, when I first heard the Sinaloa cartel working along with an Aryan gang like this, an Aryan Brotherhood, I went, what? Shut up. That is not possible. They don't do that. These groups don't work together. They stay separate. They do their own thing because of certain things they do. Well, guess what? It's a fact. They were working together, and imagine the power putting these two together that they would have, you guys, and the strength and in numbers that they would have, okay? That right there in itself, knowing that, let me ask you a question. If you knew that a group such as this, with this many people involved, moved into your town, or were in your town, would you say anything against them? No. And if you did, I'm sorry for you. Because that there again answers another question. Why does nobody in Moscow want to talk about this? Well, think about this and that. Put them together. Make your decision then, is all I'm saying.
It only takes one, though, Dago. You know what I mean? It just takes one to accept them in, to start doing business with them. And if you try to pull out with these organizations, you're going to lose your head, literally. And
I agree. I
you
agree.
know,
But imagine the size. This is a huge organization, folks, especially combined. And Bailey's wife got to them on the inside as a prison guard. That's how they linked up with the area knights, so on and so forth. So take all of that into account. Everything that Pav has talked about, other stuff that we've talked about, the stuff that Lana's showing and talked about, put that all together in the blender and hit the button. Guess what we have? The Idaho 4, in my opinion.
I'll take the stuff that Pav has and put it in a blender and then throw it in the garbage. But anyway,
That's your opinion, sir.
The definitely separate but equal. They definitely keep to their own kind. I literally think they're saying, look at what the difference is because prison gangs, the shot caller is in the prison. So when you have the guard who's the connection inside, you can get all your messages out to your people.
They're linked.
It does seem like they have them that way.
That's what I'm saying, is she took her husband's group, their organization, basically, thank you, Laura. I appreciate that very much. And brought the two together. That's insane power, you guys. Coming together, those two very strong forces, two very strong organizations, bringing them together into one. Oh my God. That's insanity.
Well, the second in command of the Sinaloa was busted just outside of Moscow a couple of years ago.
I remember that being on the news.
There's a strong connection if you've got the second in command living in Idaho or operating,
or at least
Idaho.
there somewhere. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. It's very, very visual if you look at it this way.
In Mexico.
A massive amount of drugs, guns, and money seized in a multi-state bust in Washington and Arizona. 27 people now indicted after a long investigation into connections between a white supremacist prison gang and Mexican cartels. Correspondent Nancy Liu is live. Nancy, this drug trafficking ring was under investigation for 2 years.
Nancy Liu.
That's right, Nicole. It's quite a big bust, a blitz of arrests.
2 years. 2 years. Guys, I remember hearing, I think it was November 17th, that there has been a parallel investigation on the ground in Moscow for 2 years already. 2 years when this happened. All I'm going to say is they go together. I'm telling you they do.
Listen,
There's no
dude,
way they don't.
You
There's
have
no way
to
they
see
don't.
the connection now with bringing in Scott Green in 2018. He is the guy who is the money laundering kingpin. They've got to launder that money somehow. And why not get somebody from Hogan Lovells, the big player out of New York who has Idaho ties, who graduated from Idaho, to do it? And you do it. They were busted. Part of the bust with the Moonstone Trust Bank was that they were using money and depositing money from cannabis sales. So already there, you have half of the picture. You got half of the puzzle right there with Moonstone Bank. And then you add in all the other stuff, and it just falls into place, man.
I'm sure that this is probably where Green fits into the picture at some aspect, which would explain 150 million% a more of a reason for a cover up for the college as well. I'm just saying, this is where I think it starts. Okay, and then you roll over into that, and pull Scott into. Of course, the whole fucking town is corrupt because, or not town, but the higher ups within the town, I should say. Let me put it that way. And then, like I said, as far as the fraternities and the sororities go, guys, this is why I don't believe that they were involved as far as hands-on, but they have guilty knowledge of it and why they don't talk about shit, in my opinion.
Well,
Thank you very
it's
much,
like
Wellington.
Miss Potts says. Yeah, thank you, Wellington. It's like Miss Potts said. They get a fresh batch every year. to literally brainwash and to perform these rituals on over and over every year. And what is really amazing to me is that the parents fully well know what the kids are going to go through, and they send them there and they promote them to be in that organization anyway.
Right. 100% makes sense. It does. Thank you, Lucy, by the way. And I know what you mean, dear.
The lady that was out in front that night of the Cowboys coming out of the house.
I'm sorry?
The lady that's Lucy Liu or whatever her name is.
Yeah. That was the reporter, right?
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'd like to pick her brain on what happened that night.
Well, I'd like to talk
What
to
did
quite a
she
few of
see?
these.
Yeah. What was inside that van that they were keeping that door so tight?
Thank you, DJ Frankie, again. Appreciate that very much.
DJ.
God bless. Yeah, I'll be bringing this up. Paul is going to be joining us soon on the verdict room, and I'll definitely be breaking this down with him as well, just to see his thoughts on that, based on the things he said. And I know some of you aren't fans, but I understand. On we go.
Began over a week ago with 24 people taken into custody, and the search is on for
I'm going to let this play for a few minutes, guys. I got to run to the little boys' room. We'll be right back.
3 more. It follows an extensive investigation which uncovered what may be a growing partnership between the powerful Sinaloa cartel and a white supremacist prison gang known as the Aryan family.
Officers seized an incredible amount of illegal drugs.
The haul included nearly 2 million doses of fentanyl, enough to kill everyone in Seattle and Tacoma, along with 500,000 more. These are most of the 27 indicted, with alleged links to the Aryan family prison gang and Sinaloa cartel. They are arrested in Washington and Arizona after a sweep by federal and local law enforcement. Many of the defendants had already served time within the Washington correctional system, which is where the plotting allegedly started.
It was during those prison sentences that many of these defendants became connected with each other through their involvement in the Aryan family prison gang and other gangs, all under the umbrella of white power and white supremacy.
The alleged leader is 39-year-old Jesse James Bailey of Steilacoom, Washington. He's accused of being a principal organizer, establishing ties between the Aryan family and the Sinaloa cartel in order to distribute drugs throughout much of Washington state and Arizona. There are also links to Alaska and Nevada. During the operation, agents secretly seized drugs and equipment, leading to some reassurance about the integrity of their investigation.
The wiretap revealed that these gangsters believed that they were robbed by other people and did not know that they were being surveilled by law enforcement. They even had the audacity to report some of these seizures as thefts to law enforcement.
The operation also hauled in more than 200 firearms, most of them AR-style weapons, which authorities say were bound for Mexico in exchange for drugs. Greed and power are apparently driving more collaboration between white supremacists and cartels.
These criminal relationships are ruthless, calculating, and they do not care who they harm.
Now, the Washington DOC confirms to News Nation that the wife of Jesse James Bailey is among those arrested in the sweep. Candace Bailey is a former corrections officer who resigned as authorities investigated her links to an inmate and the Aryan family. Nicole?
Oh, wow. Yeah, certainly an interesting case here, Nancy. Okay, thank you.
New at 6, we are getting a sobering firsthand account of what the city of Seattle is up against in its effort.
Oh, really? One more thing, too, also, that the car that everybody said had nothing to do with this crime that was found, the white Elantra that was found in Oregon, had her name on that as well. Just so everybody knows that, too.
Efforts to clean up downtown and
What?
stop the flow of deadly fentanyl. Mayor Bruce Harrell.
I'm sorry? Did you say something?
I understand now. Sorry, I didn't.
Oh, okay. I just didn't know if I heard you or not.
Yeah, go on. I
Planned to do
asked
just
what,
earlier this
then I
week. We
thought
also
I
Jeremy
realized what you were
Curtis
saying.
to look at how fentanyl is impacting downtown Seattle. He's live with this Project Seattle report.
No, they're not related, Lost Faith. From what we can tell, what we found when we went digging, there's no relation.
Tonight, Jeremy?
Yeah, today King County recorded its 400th overdose death of the year. The data is shockingly bad, but it only tells part of the story about the situation here in Seattle with fentanyl and the mayor's promises to fix it. This corner newspaper stand at 3rd and Pike once sold papers to office workers. Now they pass out Narcan to drug users.
It don't bother me.
Yeah.
I'm open about it.
Travis Hudson agreed to let us film him as he and his friend smoked fentanyl in the window of the downtown Ross. Do you want to get into rehab?
I do, and
I want to do more than just
Trigger
this.
warning. This video includes sensitive and violent content that may not be suitable for all viewers. This video is for 18 plus only.
He said he's been offered rehab before, but keeps coming back to fentanyl. As Travis sits out his high on a street corner, sirens and flashing lights swarm in as someone else is overdosing in an alley. Paramedics did CPR for 15 minutes, then called it. The white sheet went on, the crime tape went up. This is the routine tragedy that Seattle Mayor Bruce Harrell says can still be fixed. The mayor says he wants law enforcement to disrupt the downtown drug trade. But cops are already here and have been. We watched as a transit cop cleared an entire block today. As soon as he left, the public drug use continued.
It's absolutely out of control. I mean, I'm appalled at my city.
The mayor also says he wants more help for those who survive an overdose, a facility where users can be taken and connected to rehab. Cost and location still to come. Do you have faith that the mayor can fix this?
I would hope so.
Spend a day downtown and this is what you'll see. Talk to the people here. They'll tell you they hope the mayor can do what he's promising.
I pray for the city. It's savable, definitely savable.
Now, part of the mayor's plan also calls for the fire department to expand their overdose program. His vision there would be when somebody does survive.
The opioid and fentanyl crisis will be the subject of tomorrow's meeting of the King County Board of Health. Experts will discuss recent overdose.
Nick Brown announced the arrest of more than 20 people today with more than 1.9 million doses of fentanyl and over 230 pounds of methamphetamine taken off the streets. Additionally, agents seized more than 225 guns and firearm parts.
Last week, the United States Attorney's Office indicted 27 defendants who are each alleged to have participated in a drug distribution scheme involving principally fentanyl and methamphetamine, and many of the defendants are alleged to have been connected with the Aryan family prison gang.
I think the theory behind that, Kane, is that they know they're going to do it one way or another, so they'd rather them do it clean. But I agree with you. They should drop Suboxone or something like that instead to pull them completely off of it. But it's also going to be up to the abusers, what they want to do. I know I've seen this, going back to what Troy said, it affects different classes, not just the street people. I've seen people that work for police department. There's judges, attorneys, doctors that are on this stuff as well. As a working in EMS, I've watched, literally seen people I worked with drop over and almost die because they touched somebody that had the dust on them. It's that strong, some of it sometimes with fentanyl. It's horrible. It is horrible.
Hold the phone a second, Dago, because in Portland, they limit you to a quarter of the METH, a quarter of the HEN Roan, and a quarter of whatever else they give out to you on the daily. So you're given the rugs by the state itself. And give me a break with we can clean up this city. They've rolled out the red carpet for these people, and they've made it impossible for the police to do anything because all you're doing is arresting the same people over and over and over and over, and just putting them in and out of the system and back on the street and making their life worse.
Well, certain places like Moscow, they also use them as informants, which in turn can get people died. Okay. One of the first things Kim said when she came around, WSU mom Kim said, snitches get stitches. That's always been a big statement on top of this whole thing for me. So just saying. We're almost done with this, you guys. I just wanted to show you this last video and portions of it I'm scrubbing through to make my point solid as to what I believe and what I think.
The indictments came at the end of a years-long investigation conducted via federal wiretap, led by the Federal Bureau of Investigation and my office.
Now, right there is the answer to this, I think, especially with the Idaho 4 itself, a wiretap. Okay, just take that into consideration because I think, in essence, what happened here, somebody was working for both sides, and somebody was told to go pick up some phones that ended up coming out of the feds' pockets they were tapped. This is how they got caught, and then we have the rollover, and then these 4 were murdered. Just take that into consideration is all I'm saying.
And represents a really significant victory in our ongoing effort to keep our community safe.
Various state and local agencies also took part in that investigation.
Good morning.
Local, state, and federal officials gathered in Tacoma this morning to in Washington and Arizona.
Indicted 27 defendants.
U.S. Attorney Nick
and people are dying on a daily basis, and knowing that those weapons are principally coming from the United States of America is a significant problem that we have to address.
Tacoma Police Chief Avery Moore says this kind of collaboration with federal authorities is vital in combating crime.
Just because you can't see what's going on doesn't mean nothing's going on. We are constantly committed to our goal to make this city the safest in the country. And this is one step towards that.
Now, 3 of the 27 people that were indicted are still wanted by authorities, and anyone with any information is encouraged to get in contact with their local police department as soon as possible. Live in downtown Tacoma, Lionel Donovan, King 5 News.
What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to another episode of Greenlit Gang TV. Appreciate you guys checking out the channel. Much love, much appreciation. As always, it means a lot. There are things in videos. I know I've put up pictures that were wrong. You know, I get it. I'm not making excuses, but, you know, I said I'm human. Work a full-time job. There's times I'm trying to crank out a video in between, you know, a break or something. And yeah, I've uploaded something and missed something. It absolutely happens. But regardless, you guys continue to watch. You guys continue to support. It means a ton. So today we're going to be going to Washington State with it, covering a really interesting case. The reason I thought it was interesting was a couple things. One, it involved a much smaller, lesser-known white supremacist prison gang known as the Aryan Family, first developed in 1993. Long investigation sounded like drugs that they were pulling off the streets was crazy. So before the takedown, in that year that they were really investigating the drug ring that the Aryan Family was tied up in, it said law enforcement seized 830,000 fentanyl pills, 5.5 pounds of powder, fentanyl powder, 223 pounds of meth, 3.5 pounds of heroin, 5 pounds of coke, and almost $500,000 in cash. 27 people end up getting indicted in this. The day of the indictment, it's more than 200 guns, over 200 pounds of meth total. And the number that, like I said in the intro, that obviously sticks out and did stick out when I first started researching is 2 million doses of fentanyl. And I will say this, I believe the fentanyl crisis is the absolute worst drug epidemic this country has ever faced. As a recovering opiate addict, I missed the fentanyl boat. So I'm in my early 30s. When I began using at around 18, 19, there was no fentanyl on the street. There was, but there wasn't. So when you bought a pill, when you bought whatever geez, are these fake? Once you are addicted, won't they? Absolutely will. I have many friends. Scary. So then fentanyl hits. Okay, you took a pill. Wait, what do you mean? So people of color, absolutely 80s and get 10 years minimum, 20. The point is, as bad as that was, I think with the fentanyl epidemic.
And I have somebody that has been in contact with me recently about this, that based on the information they're sending me, I'm pretty sure I'm pretty on point with what I think at this point.
What do you think?
Exactly what I'm showing you. This
Okay.
is the problem. This I was sent photographs that look almost just like this from this person that has been in contact with me. I'll just leave it there as they're continually sending me more stuff. So I just wanted to show that to end it all there.
You know how they said, everybody said in the beginning, oh, it couldn't have been a cartel bust because cartels would have just gone in and wiped out the whole thing. What if you've got, that's why I think that Quinn and his dad are involved somehow in this, because that's why Dylan and...
What did Dylan say when she was asked that question, Terry? Why don't you think they bothered you, Dylan? Her answer was very clearly,
because they know me.
And they wanted to protect me. Word for word what she said.
Yeah.
She answered her own question. She answered our question, and she told on herself in that aspect. And I can't say that she's any closer to the truth than saying what she said. So take it for what it is. It's who you know, in my opinion, folks. Who you know is who you know. Don't touch this one.
Chapo's son, one of his sons, arrested in that raid?
I don't even know for sure. There's so many. This isn't even a quarter of the people that have been busted with this since. This was back in years ago. There's been more, and they're still rolling through this. This is still going on. It's not like it's ended or anything. Okay, they busted a big part of it. They stopped it, slowed it down for a little while, and it went right back to what it does. It's an enterprise. That's how it works. So they do what they got to do. Yeah, exactly, same person. Absolutely. So we'll see. I don't know. But anyway, that's my point that I wanted to make today. We covered the document, which is really nothing. But I just want to make it known. This is where I stand on it. This is what I think on it. And I've had help from multiple people to get to this point, and I thank them. There's some things that those people I disagree with. Yes, couple things. It is what it is. We're not going to all agree on everything all the time, but I think we're all headed in the right direction. Honestly, I feel truly that we are. Um, that's just my point. So this is what my theory is. What I just showed you guys, and what we've been talking about here. And maybe they'll do something with it. Maybe they will. Maybe they won't. Maybe that's how the truth will come out at some point. Maybe Brian was helping them work on something to figure this out at some point, and he got wrapped up in the middle of it somehow, and they ended up using him. I don't know. That's a dumb thing to say, I'm sure, but is it?
Maybe
we don't
he's-
know.
Sure that with
maybe
all
he's
the
working
email
from inside.
contacts and stuff. Sorry,
Well,
Terry.
one at a time. Go ahead.
Maybe he's working from the inside.
Right. That's what I mean. We don't know.
Yeah, I think that probably Brian did have some kind of position that they hired him in, and he found out something that he shouldn't know. And
Something
they're
went
all over
haywire.
it.
Very smart guy with if he could find the things out he knew that he already knew, it's not that hard to believe that he could have found something else out, maybe by accident. Okay.
No doubt.
Just saying.
No, you're right.
But anyway.
All right, Double Days. Well, thanks for having me, brother. Good conversation as always, man.
Thank you for being here. I appreciate you. And Sweet Pea, any last thoughts here before we go?
No, I appreciate you showing those videos. I had not seen those before, and so it gives me something to think about, because I was always wondering. I know you had always said drugs, but now I can kind of put a connection together. So I do appreciate that.
It does help to kind of wrap it up and put a nice little bow on top. You know what I mean?
For sure.
Especially you're not in the drug area.
It brings it together at the very least. That's why. And I know some of you guys have your thoughts about certain things, but that's why I jumped on board with Harsh and Pav with certain things, because certain things that I already knew I was looking at and talking about. And then those things, I brought those on, looking at those things. It brings this together, and it kind of put it all together in my mind for me. There's still a few things I have some questions about, honestly. And again, like I said, there's a couple of things that Pav has said that I disagree with. He knows that. I've said that, but that doesn't, all due respect. And I would love to see this wrap itself up. I'd like to see the truth come out. I'd like to see them point to, just admit and take accountability for supporting this or whatever they're doing, whether they're attached to it in Moscow, via the MPD or whatever, which happens all the time. I've written many songs where it talks about having the police department in your pocket, folks, because it's a thing. It happens.
Sure.
So just saying. But anyway, I appreciate you guys. I appreciate your input, your feelings, your thoughts. Your opinions all are very important. I mean, thank you, Miss Lori, for joining me. Of course, Tomboy always. Miss Terry, Sweet Pea, and Kane, thank you for being here. I think for anybody that's in the Discord, guys, I'm going to jump into the Discord today. We're going to go into general voice and do some breakdowns, some live dive talks, whatever we're going to do. We're going to jump in there. If you're interested, please jump on in there with us. And don't forget, folks, to love yourselves and love each other. That's very important. And don't change a thing, because you guys truly are the beautiful people, which is what I love about you, you being you. Stay the same and don't change. I'll see you all very soon. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you. Bye, everybody.
There you go. Bye, everybody.
The coffee's cold, the final stain. We laid the map out in the pouring rain. No hidden corners left to creep. The dark truth woke while the city was asleep. The evidence lines up straight and true. A perfect picture of what they cafe's empty.